Cloud Dance will help Zhou Feiyu up. Let him lean on himself. Fund his complex gush over, like a sigh. Retreat. Under the city walls, rivers of blood soaked the land and dyed half of the sky. See, those battle armor is awe-inspiring. Blood attacked crazily, bloodthirsty mania swish. Numb a knife to wave down. All over the corpses bleak why? Just for a bet? It's easy to withdraw. You come with me. Zhou Feiyu raised his eyes and glanced at her. The look of his eyes was self-evident. This face is as cold and beautiful as an immortal, which can't be profaned. It was the first time that he could see clearly. The feeling of being untouchable made his heart tremble. You should know that if you don't withdraw now, there's not much chance of winning. It's better to step back. Cloud Dance cold glanced at him one eye. The Mao light is dark. She hopes he can understand the meaning in her words. If you don't follow me, you will lose both sides. The Zhou dynasty can't carry it. I'll carry it. Zhou Feiyu is dancing in the clouds for a moment. She knows about his Warcraft troops. She should be able to understand what Long Shihua is facing if he carries them. His eyes are covered with a layer of haze. It seems that he wants to see a trace of concern for him in her eyes. Even if there is only a trace, but there was nothing in her eyes but indifference. Cloud Dance helps him to stand up. The breath around suddenly coagulates. The eye light is dark, slightly sharp, turns around and leaves decidedly. No matter what I owe you today, whether it's the Zhou dynasty or the state of Long Su, this human relationship will be different today. You mean if Long Shihua is defeated, you will follow me? Zhou Feiyu's eyes are bright. Cloud Dance looks back a smile, pure and cold way. Don't say to have no that possibility. Even if have a corpse you want? She slightly picks eyebrow to ask. Then again Wei, you want me to still can't give. Even if die, the crown of the grave is also long sure. She decided to leave, the ragged purple clothes swaying with the wind, tearing and flying, happened to fall on Zhou Feiyu. The clothes with her blood, such as blood plum blossom, cold and proud, unyielding. Just when Yunwu came to Long Qingxi's side, the heavy sword hummed and echoed, reflected on the strange and unpredictable eyes of Moibing, nailed to his body and constantly echoed. Mo Yebing, who has been weird all the time, suddenly died. On the contrary, she felt a little too sudden. Are you all right? Cloud Dance glanced at the ink night ice on the ground. Her eyes were cold, and she looked up at the dragon. Dragon Qing Evil immediately put away bloodthirsty cold eyes, a face of grievance for comfort lying on her shoulder. For her husband suffered a very serious injury. He raised his bleeding finger and shook it in front of the cloud. God knows, that finger is so badly hurt that he can squeeze out a few drops of blood only by pinching a few on his own, but Yunwu picked up his fingers, helped him blow, and said indifferently, "Do you feel better?" Dragon Qing Evil Rogue nodded, blowing. Cloud Dance's forehead suddenly appeared black line. If not for knowing that his ribs were broken, she would press him on the ground and repair him well. Are you going to put the two armies on a standoff like this? Cloud Dance looks at the blood under the city wall and frowns slightly. Long Qingxie gathered the ruffian's look, and a mysterious smile flashed across his mouth. He doesn't care about the result of confrontation. I don't care about the result of confrontation, but some people do. If they don't guess wrong, they should have come. If not, in the Long Qing Evil voice fell. Zhou Batian came with his troops bathed in blood. Behind him was the majestic army of the Zhou dynasty, which seemed to be in full swing. He's going to be tough like this? Cloud Dance slightly frowned. Purple eyes swept a trace of doubt. Zhou Batian is not such a man with no sense of propriety. Why hard or not depends on how to say it. Long Qingxie smiles at her, as if everything is in his expectation. In the current situation, Long Shihua has absolutely no advantage. What reason did he have to persuade Zhou Batian to kill two birds with one stone? How can he give up the best beginning of Long Shihua and the life of his enemy summoner? Cloud Dance glanced at the mysterious dragon Qingxie with mixed feelings. It's said that mysterious men are the most attractive. Why doesn't she feel this way? It's not much. Give this mysterious, narcissistic, and arrogant guy a chestnut meal. There is a confrontation between the two armies. Zhou Feiyu saw that Zhou Batian was coming all the way. With a wave of his hand and an order, the fighting stopped temporarily. Zhou Batian takes a look at Yun Qi and Yun Lingyi. His eyes pass angrily, and he turns to Long Qingxia on the city wall. At least it's like raising a father and a son. Why kill them all? Dragon Qing evil mouth swing out a smile, although said very embarrassed. Look, but not the slightest bit embarrassed meaning. You know what I want? Give it to me, and let's take care of the world together. Zhou Beixian's hoarse and angry voice spread out. Long Qingxia's eyes were bloodthirsty. My answer is not to give, and you will not withdraw, right? Then don't withdraw. It will lose the face of the Zhou dynasty. The cloud dances to smell speech. Lu may see you, a don't know to exalt of guy, give a step still don't descend, a black-hearted guy, these two people tata. Boom! A burst of galloping footsteps, sonorous ground boom. Not for a while. With tens of thousands of troops, Situlan appeared in the rear of Zhou Beixian's army. All the way galloping, the natural and unrestrained figure was a little embarrassed, but it couldn't hide the light that couldn't be ignored. When Zhou Batian saw the Situlan, his pupils suddenly shrank. Will you come to this muddy water too? Low voice, Li Mao deep anger. You said it's muddy water. It's good to fish in muddy water, isn't it? Situlan didn't mean to pick eyebrows. He seemed to feel that this trip was right. Zhou Beixian's face changed when he heard the speech. He was very gloomy. In the face of the front and back attacks of Longshu Kingdom and in Kingdom, if he still does not withdraw his troops, he will not have to wait for Nang Gongshui's prediction to come true, and the Zhou dynasty will be doomed today. But just now Long Qingxia said that, if the troops were withdrawn, the face of the Zhou dynasty would be swept away. This is a choice to fight against dignity. In the Zhou dynasty, hundreds of thousands of soldiers were killed and wounded. The rest of the soldiers were tired when they saw the army, supported by the kingdom of In. If we continue to fight like this, we will only increase unnecessary death. Why did he come? Cloud Dance saw a dragon to pour evil. Put the vision on C2 land body. Isn't he supposed to have returned to the kingdom of In? How can we take the army to Longziguo overnight? All the time, isn't it? Dragon Qing evil toward her evil spirit smile. The smile of the corner of the mouth is particularly shining. Cloud Dance coagulates the fuzzy figure, and a touch of meditation passes through the eyes. This Situlan is a man with great power, but he spared no effort for the sake of Dragon's evil. Is it true brotherhood or another deal? On one side, Zhou Feiyu also puts his eyes on Situlan. It seems that everyone is surprised at this sudden arrival. Your Highness, a group of people broke into the Zhou dynasty and tried to burn the grain and grass. They can't live in, Wu Han said with a frown. Who? Yes, it's Long Xiao. They say it's already given the Zhou dynasty face. It is not impossible for the Zhou dynasty to take over the next week's dynasty in one fell swoop. Now the Zhou dynasty is facing enemies on three sides. This wrong and anxious decision is likely to destroy the Zhou dynasty. Zhou Feiyu got the news, and Zhou Batian naturally knew about it. Withdraw Zhou Batian gave a low drink, and his anger was suppressed, which made the atmosphere of the battlefield suddenly end. Zhou Feiyu raised his eyes and gazed at the cloud dance on the city wall. He couldn't say anything. When I pacify the Zhou dynasty, even with the most despicable means, I will keep you by my side. The silver light was gradually blurred as the armor rolled. Dust, dust, half a ring. Under the city, the silence is as before, but the smell of blood is still diffuse. Cloud Dance watch Zhou Batian troops leave. Purple pupil eyes disappear. Lift eyes looking at the dragon's evil side face. Eyes a deep. You won't find any clues? Even if you find out, you won't come back. Don't worry. The dragon tilts the evil demon's face and smiles at her. You know what I'm worried about? I said, don't worry. You'd better think about what to wear when you get married. Long Qingxia's eyes are full of meditation. Nanganji takes people to sneak into the military camp of the Zhou dynasty. Except Nangangshui, they should not be found by others. Under the sunshine, the blood is especially scarlet. Long Qingxie and Situ Lan look at each other with a smile, which contains everything. This war caused a sensation in the mainland of China. After 2 battles, Long Shugua became famous. Long Yaozi intends to let Long Qingxie inherit the throne. When Long Qingxie sees good things, he takes them away. He releases his hand and raises his smile, which is comparable to the radiance of the sun and the moon. I'll go to prepare for my husband and come back early. Cloud Dance, tiny jawhead, just want to turn around to leave, but fiercely look back to see the dragon pour evil. The eye ground is cold. Don't let people follow me. I'm worried about your safety for my husband. When she found out his plan, Long Qingxie's eyes were slightly surprised and touched her cold eyes with a flattering smile. If I find out someone is following me, your worry will happen. Cloud Dance whitey one eye, turned round natural and unrestrained left. She doesn't know about him. This little thing, I really don't understand the customs. Long Qingxie looks at the figure that wipes to leave. The eye ground passes a silk to spoil from the Nan of Sede. His voice was very low, but Yunwu heard it. Cloud Dance raises the corner of her mouth and puts away her drooping eyes. With her understanding of him, he must be afraid of her halfway to the runway, so he will send someone to follow her secretly. If he can't find the best, he will say it's protection. Yunwu shakes his head slightly, and a trace of helplessness passes through his eyes. Where is the man's self-confidence? After leaving the state of Longshu, Yunwu flew to the Zhou dynasty with Jinling alone. The wind whistling, tearing in the ear, issued a hissing roar. But the haze cannot be her good mood. Since she came to the mainland of China, she almost forgot how many times she had fought. Every time she was gambling on her life, and every time she was black and blue, she was extremely embarrassed. Just to survive in this strange world where martial arts are respected, in order to let those who owe her return what they owe. And she did it all. But since when, she became stronger no longer simply to survive, but to be a woman worthy of him. All the efforts are not for this result. She fulfilled her promise and became a woman who could go forward with him. The howling wind whispered in her ear, and the smile on the corner of her mouth drifted away with the wind, and the perfect radiance reflected in the air, as if even the air was rippling. However, before approaching the imperial city, Yunwu asked Jinling to go back first and put on horses instead of walking. The archetype of Jinling's gold carving is too eye-catching. After the war between Zhou dynasty and Long Ziguo, it's better to keep a low profile when we go back at this time. But it wasn't long since I changed to a horse. All of a sudden, the smile at the corner of Cloud Dancing's mouth suddenly froze, and the watery eyes suddenly narrowed. Just in front of her fast horse, a man in a gray robe lay motionless on the ground. His heart was shocked, and the tragedy of stepping on his heart flashed through his mind. She shivered fiercely, waved away the messy fragments in her mind, looked at the shadow, and roared coldly. Those in front don't want to die. Get out of the way quickly. As soon as the voice fell, she pulled the reins fiercely, and the hurricane-like horse roared, almost turned over. Cloud Dance has fallen from the horse. At that moment, Cloud Dance eyes a cold, all-around cold anger breath suddenly rise. The man in the gray robe was still lying on the ground, and the runaway horse, with its front hooves in the air, just waited to fall and step on his heart. This horse is said to be the wildest of the horses. Apart from being fast, everything else is a disadvantage. If this one front hoof goes down, that person does not die, also must be disabled. Suddenly, the purple shadow remained, and the purple fighting spirit pierced the air like a sharp blade, spinning its edge and galloping away. Hiss! There was a loud hiss. With a bang, the horse's strong body fell to the ground, struggling and twitching. Cloud Dance glanced at the abandoned horse, dyed purple eyes with a touch of sullen anger, looked back at the gray-robed man on the ground, and the cold and angry breath around was sharp. If the man is still sleeping, She will let the land under him become his eternal bed. Just when Yunwu came to the man and just wanted to kick him, he touched the familiar face, and his feet, which were standing in the air, suddenly froze. Shengwan? Cloud Dance slightly frowns. The eye bottom passes a doubt. What does he lie here in broad daylight? Her mouth raised a bad smile. One foot fell on Shengwan, constantly rubbing and trampling. Well, do you want to step on me? Feel the body is constantly ravaged. Shengwan murmured a low roar. Obviously, he was very angry with this uninvited guest. He was chased and killed all the way. He fainted here. When he woke up, he went to sleep again. What's the matter with her? Shengwan felt that his foot hadn't moved away. His uninhibited eyes flashed a chill. He suddenly turned over and looked at the people above. After touching the Cloud Dance, he could not speak for a moment. You? What? Lying here in broad daylight, afraid of being trampled to death? Cloud Dance doesn't have good spirit of stare him one eye, looking at the distance already disabled horse. Phoenix Mao tiny cold. Shengwan sat up and looked at Yunwu. His uninhibited eyes flashed a touch of joy. I didn't expect that we met again. Cloud Dance micro frown. At first leave without saying goodbye, like the world evaporated in general. Now suddenly appear, this person seems always mysterious. Suddenly, under the baptism of the sun, she found that Shengwan's face was a little pale. When she looked at it carefully, she found that there was no blood. After exploring, she knew that he had suffered internal injury. Was he just in a coma? Why doesn't she feel it? Who hurt you? Cloud Dance willow eyebrow low. Star Mao inside flit a silk don't understand. The upper official strength she knows. Can he hurt the person is very few. Can it be someone to plot? It's a shame to say it, or not. What are you going to do? Shengwan looks at Yunwu suspiciously, looking at the horses not far away. Does she want to barbecue in broad daylight? Ha! The sound of the belly growling. The Cloud Dances the eye ground cold on to pass. Abandoned her horse. He still wanted to eat idea. Shengwan flashed an embarrassment at the bottom of his eyes. In a twinkling of an eye, he resumed his unrestrained smile. I've been chased and I've been in a coma. I haven't eaten for 2 days. Being chased? Didn't you get hurt by a conspiracy? The cool and flowing light in her eyes is dim. Is she a person who needs to pay for her life? At that moment, the air around changed. A sharp wind swept, with a kind of condensation, more and more obvious. Go? Shengwan's eyes suddenly surprised. Chaoyun dances to pick her eyebrows and signals her to leave. Cloud Dance congealed as one eye. Clear and cold flash, but pass. The corner of the mouth raises a touch of cold smile. Both hands ring chest. Don't want to leave of meaning. Go, he won't kill me. Seeing you will kill you. Shengwan roared. Rarely. Yunwu saw a trace of anxiety that never appeared in his eyes. No one can leave. Without waiting for the Cloud Dance to speak, a shadow came down in the clouds, with the breath of a god. The sound, however, seems to have come from thousands of miles away. Cloud Dance looked at the figure that fell from the sky. Hard a shock. It was a man in a silver robe about 30 years old. The only thing that shocked her was that the robe with silver light was as soft as silver. It was cool and dazzling. Such luxurious clothes, such momentum. It seems that some people don't look like people from mainland China. Is Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrows? Eyes light at MI. Is it upper bound? At this time, the man went to Yunwu and looked at Yunwu for a while. He couldn't tell what the complicated color was, so he crossed Yunwu and went to Shengwan. You can't escape. Come back with me. Cloud Dance micro frown. Fundus is not easy to detect a trace of danger. It was the first time that they met, but the way he looked at her didn't look like the first time. On the contrary, he felt like an old friend. What's the matter with this strange feeling? Let her go. I'll go back with you. Shengwan stood up and looked at the man. There was a rush of worry in his dark eyes. Since we meet so coincidentally, we have to take both back. The calm tone has no waves, but the cool breath can cool into the bones. Then take me a corpse and go back. Shengwan snorted coldly, and a pale smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. It's no use forcing me. You should know that you can't die if you want to. The man heard a joke when he was portrayed and had no response to the word death. Qingma, what do you want? Shangwan dark eyes because of his words, cold anger, a few blood. Hoarse voice, almost crazy roar. Take both of you. He answered his question. You. Shangwan was blocked by his reply for a while, but he could not say anything. Cloud Dance mouth died with a fuzzy smile. Lazy look of convergence. Eyes cold emerge. No matter what happened, Shangwan always looked like a romantic and idle man. He never lost control of his anger like now. She was almost sure that the man named Qingma in front of her must be a terrible man, a man who is calm on the surface and cold in the heart. Everyone speaks according to his ability. If he has the ability, what can he do? Cloud Dance walks to the side of the pure Mo, lift Mao to stare at him one eye way. Although don't know we have what gratitude and resentment between, but you want to do what I accompany in the end. Qingma calm face with a hint of provocation. I'm only responsible for taking you away. As for what you want to do, after you go with me, naturally someone will tell you. Just when Yunwu wanted to take out the black flame sword, Shangwan took her hand and shook her head slightly. Her eyes stopped her. You're not his opponent. I know that, but do you think he can let us go if I give up? Instead of doing so, we'd better fight for it. Anyway, he doesn't dare to kill us, does he? The cloud dances the corner of the mouth coldly to emerge, looking at the pure Mo sarcastically. Originally, he is also just an errand to handle affairs. His attitude toward Shangwan was a little puzzling. Shangwan threatened him with his life, which showed that this person would not hurt Shangwan. As for her, since she was his master, he had no right to kill her. In this case, it's better to make a blog. Maybe the blind cat can really meet the dead mouse? I can't. It's a hero to surrender. It's better to meet than to hear about it for a long time. No wonder he will be planted in your hands. He has a little courage. The corner of Qingma's mouth pulls out a touch of radiant and looks at Yunwu as if he has seen a friend for a long time. But he doesn't have that kind of kindness. On the contrary, he is extremely lonely and cold. He, Cloud Dance, a touch of contemplation, ink night ice. He's from the Beast Gate, but his strength is much higher than that of Mo Yebing. Is he the master of Mo Yebing? Cloud Dance Phoenix Mouse suddenly surprised. Ink Night Ice is just a chess piece? Is the real boss above him? How is that possible? Isn't the gate of Beast dead upper bound? Cloud Dance frowns slightly. Let her go. Shangwan congeals with Qingma, and the coldness of his eyes emerges. Since she wants to have a try, how can I not help her? Qingma glances at Shangwan. With a flick of his fingertips, Shangwan looks surprised. As soon as he wants to say something, he falls unconscious on the ground. Yunwu looks at the white crescent moon in front of Shangwan's forehead, and she is surprised. She is almost sure that this is the power of Shangjia people. Before that, can you answer me a question? Yes, of course. Yunwu frowned slightly and said coldly, What's the reason why you don't let me go? This. The Qing Mo deeply congealed Cloud Dance one eye smile. The jade pendant on your neck is good. No matter it is exterior or interior, it is first-class goods. He said something that seemed completely irrelevant. Yun Wei is stunned and glances down at the jade pendant on her neck. It seems that the jade pendant has existed since she was sensible. Yun Qi says that her mother left it to her. Cloud Dance concealed the meditation in the eyes, the corner of the mouth a cold. How can I listen to all nonsense? Suddenly, a strong breath of black flame rolled out, and the sonorous force swept all the momentum across the air, straight to Qingma. For a moment, Degeo split his body in two. Yunwu hesitated for a second. It couldn't be so easy. When she touched Qingma's face, she was surprised. He was laughing at that moment. The body was cut off, suddenly disappeared. Cloud micro, a consternation. Is this like as 2 peas? And she didn't even see when she left. It seems that you let me down. Qingma's insipid voice rang out behind her. Yunwu is surprised. When she turns around, Qingma appears beside her at a strange speed. Although there is a silver clean light around his body, Yunwu feels so dark and strange. With a wave of Qingma's hand, a touch of silver cold light appeared, shining into the cloud purple pupil eyes, and in the moment of being blurred by the silver light, the purple figure flew out in the air. Cloud Dance looked at the silver figure. Eyes bloodthirsty scarlet suddenly appeared. Just a palm. She was like a doll, casually lost. Your uncle's. Do you really think I'm a sick cat? Wind element wrapped body. Flying figure volume in the wind element suddenly stopped. Kong. The sound of knives sinking into the earth. Yunwu frees up his hands and takes up 3,000 green silk. He is capable and domineering. His eyes are cold and calm. He is as quiet as a god and as calm as Mount Tai's Qingma. He thinks to himself that he is such a loser and so calm. It's better not to show any embarrassed appearance for a while. Qingma looks at her arrogant appearance. The corners of her mouth move slightly, as if pulling out a smile. Few people have seen his strength, but the more frustrated, the more brave. This woman really has some arrogant capital. Cloud Dance holds the big knife. The corner of the mouth lin out a touch of edge, bloodthirsty pupil Mao Yao E. Although take out your ability to come, knowing that she is not his opponent and that she will fail, she still chooses to fight with her life. Not because she is stupid, but because she can't escape. She doesn't have the habit of working hard with unimportant people, but he is an unimportant person. Of course, if he can run, the sole of his feet will be smeared with oil. But now he can't run. Hong Ling, Lan Yu, Xiaolukaku, Bakeshire, get out of here. The cloud dances low to roar a. From the space, put them for. As soon as these little guys come out, they will be able to wipe out the deadly atmosphere in an instant. Mama! The little stink that came out first, of course, had to rub around her neck every time. Cloud Dance looked at the clothes ravaged by little stink, but shook his head. And Hong Ling is still drooping a head on her shoulder, eyes pitifully looking at the opposite Qingma, as if to say, Master, I'm hungry. Lan Yu is just like a saint fighter, standing behind her left step by step, protecting her very kindly. And on the right is Bai Shuer. Yunwu's face turns black. How can you feel that this scene doesn't look so beautiful? After touching the corner of Qingma's mouth with a little smile, the cold anger on Yunwu's body finally appears, and he glances at several guys. She let them out to fight, not to punish her. Yunwu grabs Xiaoqiu and Hong Ling and throws them in the air. Bing Han says, Prepare for the war. Small stink in the air hit a few roll, steadily fell on the leaves of Hong Ling. Hong Ling wanted to throw it away, but the next second she opened her mouth and swallowed it directly. Make you stink all day long. Hong Ling, with a little stink, mumbles and mumbles, and the corners of her mouth are very suitable to flow all over the place. Little stink resisted in Hong Ling's mouth. Suddenly, Hong Ling's mouth was covered with smoke, and the choked Hong Ling had to spit out the little stink. You stink. Dare to set fire in my mouth. Hong Ling stares at stink. As soon as I opened my mouth was red and gloomy, but now it was black by the thick smoke. As soon as I spoke, I kept smoking. The scene is like a chimney. You're going to eat me. Small stink is not willing to be outdone, and looks up at Hong Ling angrily. Cloud Dance sees, purple pupil Mao more and more dark. Chilly anger seems to burn to Red Ling and small stink there. Two guys fiercely, not ding, beat a shiver. Touching the eyes of Yunwu, they glanced at each other unhappily. They stood in line and lowered their heads, as if they were admitting their mistakes. Cloud Dance forehead blue veins emerge. Shouldn't she call these two little guys out? Summoner, it's the first time we've met. Qingma looks at the Cloud Dance. The light of the plane, I brushed one, I contract beast. The corner of the mouth slightly moves. The smile is fuzzy. Does that mean he knew she was a summoner? People in the human world know that she is a summoner. After so many things, it's not surprising. However, people in the upper world also know that she is a summoner. Isn't it strange? Well, I hope we won't have the chance to meet again. The Cloud dances coldly. The voice falls. Rubbed, a touch of purple phantom passing. With the dark atmosphere of the attack die. Sharp speed. In a flash, the four guys quickly entered the combat state. Small Stink and Red Ling used their own fire. Attacked the dark atmosphere. with the anger of heart to heart, directly attacked Qingmao. Then a hurricane appeared. All of a sudden wrapped the body of flying clouds. The hurricane is fierce and swift, wrapped in the shadow like a sharp blade, exquisite and fast, cannot be caught. Thorn! The sound of clothes breaking. Qingmao, looking at the shoulder, was cut clothes. Kamai's a cold swept, unexpectedly cut his clothes. And the thing that feels extremely elastic and chilly behind is the water element, right? The reason why water element can exist invisibly is that it is hidden in the boundary of space. It's just that there's ice in the water, which is unique. It's a little interesting. As soon as Qingmao's hand was lifted, the silver sword appeared, with extremely dazzling light. It's like the most dazzling color in the cold land. It's cool to the bone. Yunwu watched the sharp and icy silver sword attack. The corners of his mouth were bloodthirsty, his hands were close, and his eyes were slightly closed. In mid-air, a flaming red sword appeared. Go, the cloud dances low to drink a... The red sword seems to get an order, general, straight toward the silver sword that flies in the air to stab. Yunwu looks at the two sword shadows intertwined with each other, frowns slightly, and sees the red flame disappear in the cold. What a powerful force! Cloud dance hard as shock, in the eyes of a glimmer of clear, as if found to deal with the source of Qingmao martial arts. The two people who are still fighting are more and more fierce and uneasy. The smell is cool, and the smell of blood is gradually spreading. Blood-stained purple, embarrassed figure appears, but to bloody confrontation, faster speed. The sky and the earth suddenly changed color. The silver cold light and the dark things did not squat to devour each other, and the two sword shadows fought like fire and tea. Qingmao's plain eyes were surprised. He didn't expect that she could fight against him for such a long time. It was a mess that had been destroyed by the power of silver. And her figure is also embarrassed. I thought this would be the end, but I didn't expect that he would be so embarrassed by her. Looking at the messy silver robe on his body, Qingmao's eyes narrowed slightly. A trace of danger ran across. It's the first time. She really can't stay. Just as he was about to take the hand, a powerful hand grasped his action. It's Shangguan. Finally give you a chance. Take me away. Let her go. Don't make the decision you regret. Shangguan is cold and stares at Qingmao. His breath is cold and dark. Clear and calm mouth, sun inside of kill intention hidden, the corner of the mouth slightly up, seemed to smile, since so, that go. Cloud dance's eyes pass by a little doubt. And it's over? He vowed to take away his determination? The clear mo finally coagulated Cloud dance one eye. The clear smile way. Look forward to the next time to meet. I will wait for you. Do you think that fighting or retreat is all you do has the final say? The cloud dances low to roar to sink the strength of anger to thump suddenly for. She waved a big knife, hit and fall. They left on the road of a gully. She can't accept Shangguan being taken away because of her. Even if she knows that she can't win, she will feel better after blocking her life, instead of being slaughtered like this. Looking at Shangguan being taken away. You guys, stop them. I'll kill anyone who leaves. Strong ZZ force rolled out again, whistling in the pull. Cloud Dance seems to hear a sigh of the Shangguan. Sooner or later, you have to leave. Why do you suffer? What do you mean? Yunwu frowned slightly. In an instant, a flash of possibility flashed through his mind. Does his identity really have something to do with Shangjie? You don't know what to do. Qingmao voice a cold. It seems that some anger around the plain air are a ripple. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to raise to put on a bloodthirsty sneer. Finally unload that god, General Camouflage. It turned out that under the disguise, it was such an unpleasant face suddenly. The silver hurricane came out like sparks, lightning, thunder, with strange speed, spread to the clouds. But in mid-air, suddenly cut off by a gray figure. Bang! The two powerful forces collided, splashing out a afterwave, pulling the cloud dancing skirt, but it was hard to open a few openings. The cloud dances to hang Mao to glance a skirt to put. Mao light inside flit to wipe surprised. I can't help looking up at the Shangwan. Is that his strength? Well, let's go. Shangwan frowned, with a sharp and dignified low voice, and a cold look stopped Qingma, who still wanted to fight. Qing Yimo smell speech, the corner of the mouth slightly a hook, put down the action in the hand. Cloud dance frowned eyebrow, tip a pick, eyes streamer meditation 100 turn. Clear Imo, actually listen to the official's order? What is the identity of Shangwan? Xiao, let's go. I hope we won't meet again. Shangwan looks back at Yunwu with a wild smile on his eyes, picking her eyebrows slightly, as if there is something in her words. Cloud dance slightly frown, the Mao light inside flit a silk don't understand. He has hoped she don't appear in upper bound? What's the consequence of going with him? Cloud dance coagulates Shangwan, and his eyes are full of thoughts. She wanted to know if there would be any unbearable punishment waiting for him when he went back to the place where he was trying to escape. No one can do anything about me, but what I want is freedom. Well, it doesn't matter. Remember, I'll see you later. Shangwan winked at her, turned around, and disappeared in Yunwu's sight. Before leaving, Qingma stares at her for a while, as if she wants to see something in her body. It's the kind of sharp eyes that can see through everything. With that smile like ice blossom, two figures left her sight one after another. The cloud dance draws back the line of sight, droops the eye to ponder. Upper bound, what kind of place is that? It seems that there are many things about her in the upper world which she can't understand. Mama! Small Stink looked at Shangwan, and Qingma left, put away the ferocious appearance. Peep, 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 peep of Chaoyan dance rushed to attack. Round Gula's body a drag, what a person can't help to trample on. Yunwu put away her contemplative eyes, looked at the little Stink, and sighed a little. Her strength is far from enough. Just like today, even with all her strength, it doesn't seem that she can win that person. And he's just a person who works for others. The strength of her master cloud dance, almost can't imagine. What has the strength reached? Is it possible to pierce your throat and kill you with one small finger? If so, is her current strength like a joke? I'm really depressed, Mama. Small Stink see Cloud dance, ignore him. Holding Cloud dance clothes, pitiful again, soft cry. Yunwu's forehead is black, and the little thing is endless, master. Throw it into the cesspit. It stinks. Hongling despised a glance at the Small Stink, probably because did not eat food and angry. Little Stink jumped to the leaves of Hongling and showed his teeth. You stink to death. You dare to eat me just now, I'll kill you. You dare to scratch my face, believe it or not, I will bite you to death. How dare you? Two guys started again. Cloud dance side quickly lost them in the contract space. To fight back to the space. Please fight. She looked down at her embarrassed appearance at the moment, frowned slightly, and then looked at the dead, crazy horse, her eyes suddenly cold. However, Cloud dance also does not plan to use what it take the place of step, direct oneself flies. In the messy wind, the residual smell of blood is still diffuse, and the purple figure has swept out dozens of feet. That messy fighting traces, but also publicity, leaves fluttering. Who see will know that this is a wonderful duel. In Yunfu, since the last time they were intercepted by the group who claimed to be sent by Zhou Tianyu, Yunqi and Yunlingi have become idle people. Since the last attack on the state of Longsu and the return to the Zhou dynasty, the civil war between Zhou Feiyu and Zhou Tianyu continued. It is well known that the court is big and small, and Zhou Batian knows about it, but he can do nothing about it. And Yunqi and Yunlingi don't care about the affairs of the court. They don't care about the gate. Every day in the sun, a small life is also comfortable, and the protection of Red Fire Dragon, let alone worry about what assassins will assassinate Yunfu, and so on. What's more, after the last assassin's business, who is still an idiot sent to the door to be killed, under the warm sun, after a touch of wind, a purple figure suddenly appeared in the back garden of Yunfu. In the pavilion, Yunqi, who is basking in the sun, suddenly feels shocked. His old nose seems to smell the smell of cloud dancing. He opens his eyes and sits down in the reclining chair. A look at the opposite person. Not Cloud Dance. Who can it be? 9 winches, are you back? Cloud Chi, big voice a pull, surprise a shout away. I wish I could tell everyone that Yunwoo came back. In those fierce eyes, I wish I could squeeze out 2 tears, one full of old tears. Yunwoo frowned slightly, and a trace of helplessness flashed in the bottom of her eyes. Looking at Yunchi's excessive surprise, he sighs. Haven't we just met as 9 winches? This time back, do you plan to fight in this period of time? Seeing that Yunwoo didn't speak, Yunchi spoke again. Without this girl, I always feel less fun. Even if there are other girls in the house, but I just feel empty and stuffy. Cloud Dance's eyes are dim. The old man feels depressed. Do you want her to relieve him? Looking at Yunchi's face, which is a little older than before, his eyes are slightly dark. It seems that he should have considered a lot of things these days, right? No matter what the result is, as long as they don't play for the Zhou dynasty, everything will be easy. What's more, this time back, she did bring us surprise news back. I'm getting married. Cloud Dance a word. Stay Lung is 2 people. There's another Yunlinji who came back from Yunwoo in a hurry after a long time of silence. It was quiet and frightening, not like the atmosphere of hearing the good news, get married, with whom Yunchi's thick eyebrow is picked, blowing beard and glaring swept Cloud Dance up and down again. But the fundus of the eye is uncontrollable excitement. Cloud Dance slightly frown, some helpless, indifferent way. This also need to say, Long San, that boy's grandfather really doesn't look good. Too treacherous and scheming, but 9 girls are almost the same, so my grandfather agreed first. Yunchi nodded, and the smile of the corner of his mouth bathed in the light of the setting sun, which broke Yunwoo's eyes. Cloud Dance forehead black line emerge. This grandfather is reverse say she? Is she treacherous? Do you have a plan? Why doesn't she feel when we get married? We must go. When Yunlingi learns that Yunwoo is going to get married, his serious face lightens a lot, but he doesn't know what to say. He was both happy and strange to this daughter. He is glad that his daughter is so outstanding. He is strange to Yunwoo, and his indifference and alienation are everywhere. Coupled with his serious nature, the relationship between them is doomed to be limited to Yunchi. Cloud Dance calmly looked at Cloud Cold one eye, similarly indifferent, slightly jawhead. When do you get married? I'll go tomorrow. There are many things to do inside and outside. We are the only family in our family. Of course, we have to go ahead of time to support the scene. Yunchi gives a big drink of Yunlinji, hoping that the real Yunfu will tremble. He takes a cold glance at Yunlinji, and the dislike around him becomes more and more obvious. Yes, Cloud Cold slightly bowed his head, flat back a sentence. I'll go and talk to Brother Long first. Yunwoo glances at the sleeping red fire dragon over Yunfu, and his eyes flash by. Maybe it has designated the 3 people in Yunfu, including Yunwoo, as a safe area. As long as it is not strange, it can continue to sleep safely. So after Cloud Dance appeared, it had no reaction at all. Cloud Dancing Dragonfly leaped on his back like water, with a bad smile on the corner of his mouth, a hand close to his ear, and a fierce pull. The red fire dragon's song was deafening. Who's pulling my ear again? I'm going to kill you. After feeling the smell of Cloud Dancing scattered on his body, Red Fire Dragon's angry face suddenly collapsed. Why are you back? Red Fire Dragon's eyes narrowed and glared at the Cloud Dance on her back. It didn't seem to be very happy for her to come back. It's no wonder that every time he comes back, his posture of being the best and the most handsome is lost by Cloud Dance. The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to die to smile. The vision is dense. Takes the fine on to glance at the Red Fire Dragon, then attached in its ear to say what? No, I don't agree. Red Fire Dragon's anger once again vibrated. All of a sudden, the whole space is only a condensation, followed by turbulence, ripple vibration. I'm afraid you can't help disagreeing. Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow. Both hands ring chest ride on Red Fire Dragon neck, looking down at his anger rub ran appearance. eyes cunning point am I. How could the red fire dragon not know that the summoner could force the contract? The last thing I want to see in my life is the summoner. Don't make me angry. The whole Zhou dynasty fell into a panic when the red fire dragon roared. Everyone said that the red fire dragon began to destroy the Zhou dynasty. Also, the roar of the red fire dragon was enough to make the Zhou dynasty into a panic, let alone the angry dragon chanting one after another. In the back garden of Yunfu, the three elders and Yunqi look at this man and beast, and their faces are not very good looking. They're thinking about what Yunwu said to Red Fire Dragon, which makes him so excited. At the same time, they're worried about Red Fire Dragon. For fear that Yunwu might not be able to subdue him, the last thing you want to see is a summoner? Huh? Then who let you out? Cloud Dance's eyes narrowed. The color of warning appeared at the bottom of his eyes, and the smile at the corner of his mouth was a little chilly. He grabbed Red Fire Dragon's ear and began to educate him. Lousy, Red Fire Dragon thought. Aurora did not call out. She really put him out. Then I do not agree. Cloud World imprisoned me. You let me go. Too clear. Oh, is it clear? Cloud Dance's strength on the hand is tight. The eye light is cold frost. The ray of light passes by. Do you say two feelings are too clear? What can you do if I don't let you go? Red Fire Dragon has been choking in his heart for a long time, but he has no reason to refute her, and he doesn't want to make a contract with her. I don't want to make a contract with you. Brother Long, the reason why I want to make a contract with you is that you really think I'm scheming against you. Why are you so stupid? Cloud Dance said. The voice stopped. Stupid? It is stupid to believe that she has become a contract animal. However, seeing the Red Fire Dragon everywhere, Cloud Dance couldn't help but smile. He continued, although Warcraft has been contracted by the summoner, it is indeed driven by the summoner, but there is another level that you did not expect. The level of the contract beast will also increase with the upgrade of the summoner. Brother Long, I don't want to talk about you. At your present level, you can't turn into a human. Don't you think it's a pity? See, Cloud Dance behind that sentence fall. Red Fire Dragon seems to face a change. Half a sound, just gnashing his teeth like the mouth. You think this is to despise my strength is too weak? Of course not. Yunwu grinned and looked kind. I'm sorry for you. How to say, you're also the 8th prince of the dragon, but you've always been able to turn into a human. It's a pity. During this time, I really need your help to guard the Cloud family. You know, there's nothing you can do in mainland China, but there won't be some other places that don't have eyes. If you have made a contract with me. Now I have the strength of Wuzuan, and you will also leap from class to Wuzuan. For Warcraft, it's absolutely jumping. You can not only turn into human form, but also greatly increase your strength. Isn't that the benefit of both of us? In fact, this time back, Yunwu did bring some selfishness. Red Fire Dragon smell speech. That look in the eyes changed again and again. But it is a long time did not say a word. Because what Yunwu said is true. Although Warcraft is regarded as a slave contracted by the summoner, it's just like being humiliated. However, the only advantage is that the contract beast will also increase its strength with the strength of the summoner. This need not be questioned. After it was trapped, the original Fire Dragon Ball and the original fire were swallowed by the Cloud Dance. It's hard to improve. However, it's the 8th prince of the Dragon Clan. It's the contract beast of the summoner. If it's spread, what face does it have in this world of martial arts? All face is false. Only when the strength is improved can it be called real face. Seems to see Red Fire Dragon hesitated. Cloud Dance said quickly. Under the education of Cloud Dance, in the end, the Red Fire Dragon's will to resist became smaller and smaller, and it seemed that he was close to compromise. Come on, Brother Long. I've said all I have to say. It's double-edged, so don't resist and obey. If you don't speak, I'll make you promise. Cloud Dance finally, also direct corner of the mouth of Yang, smile of a face not good intention. In fact, the idea of contracting the Red Fire Dragon was born at the beginning. It's hard all the way. After I became a summoner, I met too many things. I put this stubble away again and again. This time I came back, I took the opportunity to knock and implement it. Of course, the most important point is that half of what she said is true. People in the upper bound seem to know her well when they come to the lower bound. It's hard to guarantee that one day they will threaten the Cloud family. Contract Red Dragon, at least in strength, with her promotion and promotion. Moreover, after the contract, she was more relieved. When the whole face muscle of Red Fire Dragon twitches, it agrees. When did I agree to the contract? I didn't agree to the contract. It's a forced contract. Red Fire Dragon glared at the clouds, muttering endlessly. However, after shouting, he muttered, "Okay, okay, be nice to me in the future. Don't always pull my ear and ride on me. I'm ashamed. I'm the 8th prince of the Dragon Clan. Anyway." The Cloud Dance listens to his crackling from Nan, can't help but forehead black line rubs. It's really a moody and irascible temper. When did he nag like this? However, it is right to do one thing, that is not to resist. It's no use fighting. At the moment, the clouds dance and the mind close. At the same time of mobilizing the internal force, the mental force suddenly rises. The battle of contracts. The voice began to murmur. At that moment, a dazzling color light flashed out in such a raging hurricane. Then, a mighty breath set off a mysterious totem array, gushing out from the foot of Cloud Dance and Red Fire Dragon. The breath in the air is isolated in an instant, and the elder Yun Chi and others who are watching this scene are all open. Is this a contract? Yes, that girl is actually contracting the demon dragon. This girl is too fierce. Will the demon dragon resist? Don't make any noise. 9 girls want to do things in a proper way. Yun Chi's eyes were shocked, but he was the most calm. In the fundus, it's the surprise and comfort. The 9 girl came back. In addition to sending news, it is estimated that it is for the future security of the Cloud family. With such a granddaughter, he has nothing to regret. In midair, in the array of colored light, it is like a cage that never escapes, and it rolls Red Fire Dragon away. At the sight of the breath, Red Fire Dragon body, instinct suddenly is stiff. You should be kind to me in the future, and remember to let me go when you have a chance later. Red Fire Dragon, that voice, hurriedly thin Li Hua Lav say. However, before its words were finished, the more dazzling the array was. All of a sudden, a group of red light shot out of the contract array straight into its white eyebrow. Voice, stop! All the movement around at this moment quiet down. The red light quietly envelopes the Red Fire Dragon, but the array under him gradually collapses. Finally, the array turns into a green light, which is divided into 2. 1, into the red light wrapped in the Red Fire Dragon, straight into the cloud of eyebrows. At that moment, on Cloud Dance's right finger, a faint red light flashed by. When the light disappeared, a red ring of contract was wrapped around her finger. And it was then a wonderful spiritual connection also formed a line between her and the Red Fire Dragon. The red light wrapped in the Red Fire Dragon began to fade away, revealing its original appearance. Master! A low call came. I saw that the dragon shape of the Red Fire Dragon had turned into a handsome man after the light faded. In his early 30s, he was dressed in red and had sharp eyes. However, his hot temper could be seen from his eyebrows. After the contract, Cloud Dance can be regarded as a solution to future worries. Now Red Dragon is in Cloud home. At least in a short time, she doesn't have to worry about safety. When Yunwu said he would return to Longshu, Yunchi must go back with her. Yunwu says that he still has something to do and will not go back to the palace directly. Yunchi says that he will go by himself. Yunwu has some helplessness to him, but she does have one thing to do. She can't go back to the palace with him. After leaving Yunfu, Yunwu directly summoned Jinling and headed for the border and the junction of Longshu Kingdom as soon as possible. The location of elite troops. After the First World War, Yunwu found a place for the elite troops in Longziguo, where they are hiding their talents. In a secluded and remote courtyard on the border of Longshu State, Purple figure fall, cloud dance hook mouth. All the way ethereal walked in. Miss Nine. Soldiers in ordinary robes stopped for a moment when they saw Cloud dancing. Cloud dance, slightly jaw-head, then left. Not far away came a cold, natural, and unrestrained white figure. Calm eyes with a trace of cold, cloud dancing eyes, passing a smile to make Xian daze. Today's Ling Xuanxian has no sense of helplessness. Now he is very calm. On the contrary, he has a feeling that he can manage everything. In particular, she hasn't mentioned the old man in the cave for a long time. It's not that she doesn't worry or miss him. It's that he has finally become a strong man. He has the way to survive. How do you feel here? Cloud dance eyebrow tip pick, the smile of the fundus of the eye shallow, if spring flower, more like breeze. Make Xiande lips cape pull open a radiant. Calm Mao sun inside die up one to put on hazy. Very good. This army has made him strong and taught him how to protect himself and the people he wants to protect. It's time to fulfill what you had hoped. I'll take you to see your grandfather, but I know that no matter how it turns out, I'm satisfied to see it. Don't wait for Cloud Dance to finish saying. Make Xiande then interrupted her words. He knew very well that it was a miracle that he could live one more day when he was imprisoned by the Beast Gate, not to mention it had been so long. But he didn't know the old man's importance to Mo Yebing. Mo Yebing won't kill him unless he has to. But now Cloud Dance is not sure. The old man was imprisoned for so many years and didn't say anything. In the end, he certainly won't say anything. It's not impossible for Mo Yebing to think of some way to kill him in a rage. Yunwu nodded slightly, and a trace of satisfaction passed by his eyes. See, make Xiande today's appearance. That old man, even if died, should also be able to close eyes. They soared all the way to Hurricane Cliff. The faint hole on the cliff of Hurricane Cliff is still covered by green vines. The cloud dances to return to Mao, Li 1, I to make Xian Sky. A jump body but descend, drilled into the hole. After Yunwu entered the cave, she first frowned slightly, and her eyes flashed a strange look. Because this time, I can't feel the strange power of the last time. What's going on? Could it be that then she denied, shaking her head? The old man should still have the value of life. The Ink Knight ice endures so many years should not kill him. Everything in the cave remained the same, still full of corpses. It's just weird that she smelled a smell of decay here. The cloud dances the Mao light sharp edge to pass by. Remember last time come, in addition to the old man body that strange force of oppression, completely have no a bit rotten stink, some only bloody. But now the strange power is gone. Instead, the smell of visceral erosion is full of it. Is the old man cloud dance thought. Eyes tight, a phantom past, directly came to the place where the old man was imprisoned. Make Xian Day glimpse the everything in the cave. The eye ground a wipe cold on flits by. Piles of bones, viscera everywhere. Is this a human hell? He saw her look abnormal. Eyebrows a frown, fundus a touch of worry. In the twinkling of an eye, followed by the shadow moved in. Yunwu comes to the place where the old man is imprisoned, but finds that the old man's figure is really gone. The black vine seems to have been uprooted. The old man's position is only at the root of the black vine on the stone wall of the earth's surface. Nothing else has changed. There was no sign of fighting in the cave. It was obvious that the old man had not escaped and could not. There's only one explanation. He was taken away. Who took him? Isn't he connected with hiding? Did that man go with hiding? Yunwu thinks of that scene and suddenly feels a touch of suffocation in his throat. Who has the ability to take hiding away with people? After seeing the empty cave, Ling Xuanxian knows that it's late. A look of pain in the quiet fundus of his eyes passes by, and his eyes are covered up with a cold look. Cloud Dance looked back to coagulate his one eye, tiny frown way. Don't worry, he is all right, just was transferred to walk. Make Xian Day smell speech. In the eye fundus abruptly rise to put on joy. The Mao Ray Mang of looking at Cloud Dance. Really? Cloud Dance, tiny jaw head, then way. Regardless of life and death, I promised you. We'll let you see him. Make Shintian mouth open a touch of radiant. That white smile let Cloud Dance feel so dazzling. Although he looks general, but the bone is with the toughness and peace of the witch people. After leaving the Hurricane Cliff, Yunwu tells something about Ling Xuanxian and returns to Longziguo. Although the effect of her assassin regiment was really good in the last war, the number was too small. Therefore, after the war, she gave Lung Qingshui full power and went directly for development. However, what Yunwu may not have thought of, one day, her assassin corps will be enough to shake the existence of mainland China. As soon as Yunwu entered Longziguo, the news of her marriage spread all over the streets. Fortunately, she is very low-key, and her real appearance is rarely revealed. People in Longziguo have heard of her, and most of them haven't seen her. Otherwise, she really dares not go this way. Yunwu walked in the street, listening to all kinds of blessing, admiration, slander words, secretly sighed. God knows, she really always low-key after returning to the palace. Yunwu's face was no better than that in the street. On the contrary, it was a little darker. The coldness between the eyebrows could be felt by one person. So much so that the guards in front of the palace gate, when they touched the angry and cold eyes of Yunwu, were scared to think that she was transparent. In the palace, the red curtain is spread and the ribbons are flying. People were busy with the necessities of marriage in their hands, and the whole palace looked as if she was alone. Not far away, the figure appeared and stopped, as if it was waiting for her. Cloud Dance looks at South Palace E. The bottom of the eye displeasure faded a few minutes. Extremely shallow, pulled a smile, lift a step to walk toward him. Nangong, he is sitting on the stone platform. His white robe is rippling and swirling with dust. It seems that he doesn't care. He is facing the clouds. Under the white veil, Yunwu couldn't see his expression clearly. Wait for me. Cloud Dance, show, eyebrow a pick. The corner of the mouth holds a smile. Followed him to sit down. The intersection of purple and white robes is an unspeakable fit and abruptness. Nangong, he slightly lowered his head. A breeze lifted. White yarn with the breeze spin up a radiant. The gorgeous setting sunlight. That Zhang Junyi's face seems to be a little gloomy and cold. It's the next second. White gauze recovers again and covers his face. At that moment, Cloud Dance thinks that she is wrong. Are you really getting married? Nangong, he looks at the Cloud Dance and can't tell what it looks like. His ordinary warm voice is a little low. Cloud Dance didn't notice this abnormality. Cloud Dance slightly jawhead. Although she was not happy to see the bright red, the warmth of her eyes never disappeared. I need your blessing. Cloud Dance toward him a smile. Between words is rare trust. You may be very clear that you and he are two extremes. It's impossible. Nangongji, I've known you for some time. You should know me very well, maybe. In your opinion, some things are predestined. However, I always don't believe in fate. Even if it's really predestined, I will just follow my heart. Even if it's against fate, it doesn't matter. You should know that. Cloud Dance glanced at him. A trace of complexity passed by the fundus of his eyes. So, I hope I can get your blessing. After that, Yunwu didn't wait for what he was saying. I got up and disappeared into the gray haze. Why do you always ask for the impossible? Nangong, he looks at the figure that disappears in the distance and whispers. Cloud danced back to the room, found that the room has been empty. Suddenly, a bad feeling appeared. Should not just then there was a knock on the door. Princess, the prince asked his maidservant to tell you that all your things are in the prince's room. Cloud Dance heard the maid said, face suddenly a black, the whole space filled with a depressing cold. That's it. The maid in waiting felt a chill around her body and left quietly with a silent shiver. As night falls, the Milky Way is still and starry. Cloud Dance looks at the box that is open on the bed. Eyes like cold light flits by. There is a thing that the world does not have. This man really dares to take anything. A touch of cold, delicate figure, pacing in the night. Around the cold breath radiated all the way, straight toward the East Palace. The cloud dances, the eyes flash, the corners of the mouth close. Long Qingxie, before I get married, I give up your hands and let you take everything. Bang! The gate of the palace was kicked open, whining and creaking. But the next second, the whole person of Cloud Dance was picked up in the air. Body empty. She can only subconsciously grasp the person holding her. She's sullen way. Put me down. The smell of dragon's evil spirit burned on her cheek, and the thread of chi wandered around her neck. Little thing, are you so eager to throw yourself in your arms? Yunwu's face turned black, and he just wanted to scold him. One hand accidentally touched something soft, and her heart was shocked. Isn't this the steamed bread cover she made herself, this shameless man? You. It's something that feels good. Without waiting for Yunwu to speak, Long Qingxie put her down, waved the man to cover in his hand, and looked at her eyebrows doubtfully. Under the intersection of cold moonlight and weak candlelight, Cloud Dance's indifferent face is especially purple and blue, and a pair of star eyes rotate back and forth with the things in his hands. Left eye, right eye. Cloud Dance sees the opportunity. A forward flutter, while steamed bread covered tightly in the hand. Bright star mouse stares at the dragon to pour evil, cold way. Let go. Long Qingxie slightly raised his eyebrows, moved his eyes to Yunwu's chest, stopped, and stirred up a charming smile. If you want me to let go, tell me what this is. It's fun. Stop. Cloud Dance low roars a body. Star mouth overflows sullenly out a burn. What you dare to play, you dare not again. Shameless a bit? Shameless? Long Qingxie suddenly frowned and looked evil. This is your thing, don't you? Cloud Dance, under the black line of forehead, still drags the thing in the hand, not to let go. The eye ground cold mangs glimpses the dragon to pour evil. A word away. Let go. Dragon Qing, evil mouth corner a bend, fiercely released a hand. With a cry of surprise, the figure suddenly leans backward and falls into a warm and powerful embrace. If you want to throw yourself in your arms, just come directly. Why do you have to be so troublesome? I still like you to be more direct. The cloud dances and looks at the sky without tears. Suddenly, she feels that if she becomes this pro tomorrow, she will be in darkness in the future. This guy is too shameless, too black-hearted, too cheeky. The night is still and bright. The cold moonlight, shining through the palace window into the palace bed, a white and a purple, two quiet figures embrace and sleep. However, they are extremely polite. Little thing, starting tomorrow, you are mine. I've been waiting too long for this day. Long Qingxie branded a deep kiss on her forehead, and the corners of her mouth stirred up a smile. Tomorrow? Yes. Although it's not a long time, I feel that I've gone too long. It's less than a year, but I feel like I've been away for most of my life. It's just that, in the light of the evening wind, they feel sleepy. Gradually, their eyes are dense and hazy, and they soon fall asleep. Outside the palace, there was a strange smell. Shallow let people imperceptible, as if that wipe abnormal is just a moment of illusion in general. The next day, the sunrise appeared in the sky, and the whole palace was covered with a layer of hazy gold. Long Qingxie moved slightly, his sword eyebrows frowned slightly, and touched the people around him. There was nothing cold and empty, and he opened his eyes fiercely. In a moment of meditation, the corners of his mouth were slightly raised, and he fell on the bed again. Listen to the sound of busy outside. Dragon Qing, evil eyes, but flash. Today is their wedding day. Where's this little thing? The dragon leaves his bed and opens the palace door. Outside, there are lanterns, red curtains, locked voices, and shouts. At the corner of Dragon's mouth, he smiles and happens to meet the maids who come to serve them. Good morning to the third prince. Dragon Qing, evil tiny a low Mao Wei. See the princess? The maiden waiting for a moment, then respectfully said, I haven't seen the princess yet. Long Qingxie's sword eyebrow wrinkled and waved to let her put it in. There was a doubt in her eyes. Where did she go so early? Somebody? Prince? Several bodyguards heard the call and came in a hurry. Go and see where the princess is. The bodyguard was stunned for a moment and said respectfully, yes. They all know that Yunwu's things moved to his room yesterday, and they spent the night in his room. They were surprised to find Yunwu when they got up early this morning. But they were just surprised and puzzled, and did not dare to ask any more questions. However, when the bodyguard looked around, he almost turned the imperial palace upside down, but could not find the figure of Cloud Dance. Knowing the seriousness of the matter, he quickly came to report to Long Qingxie. Prince, no princess, the bodyguard said in a low voice. There are still 2 hours left for them to be very happy. Although they did not invite other 2 countries, their marriage has already caused a sensation in mainland China. The ministers came, the Prince of Kingdom Situ, Lan also came, and the people of Cloud House also came. Now the bride is gone. The bodyguard's body was getting lower and lower, and he could almost feel the cold breath from the dragon's evil spirit. Keep looking. Even if you dig 3 feet, you'll find it. With a low roar, the corner of his mouth suddenly twitches, and the cold light of his eyes suddenly appears, as cold as the ice in the December. Yes, the bodyguard responded, and left respectfully. Long Qingxie's sword eyebrows wrinkled tightly. Looking at an orchid in front of the hall, his golden eyes narrowed slightly. Where did she go? It can't be. Have you escaped marriage? The black line on Dragon's forehead rises, and the anger of his eyes rises instantly. No way. He didn't dare to promise other women, but Yunwu, a little thing, would never escape marriage. But where did she go? The next second, the anger in those eyes was replaced by Bingsun. Looking at the orchid in front of the hall, a bad premonition came to my heart. Prince, do you want to? Don't wait for the maid to finish. Long Qingxie's cold eyes swept by. The maid of honor immediately closed her mouth, bowed respectfully, turned around, and left. The bridegroom-to-be, it's time to enjoy the flowers. Not far away, a silver figure came slowly, with a languid smile, joking. Long Qingxie glanced at Sitolan. There was a rare worry and fear between his eyebrows. Sitolan noticed his abnormal expression and frowned slightly. His step was a little faster. He went to Long Qingxie's side and looked inside the palace. He frowned and said, "Where's the little dance?" Long Qingxie shakes his head. His eyebrows are locked. I don't know. I don't know? Just now. Some people said that you were sleeping in the same bed last night. Now you don't know? Sitolan rarely put away his unconventional attitude and yelled at the dragon. I woke up in the morning and she disappeared. Last night, suddenly, Long Qingxie seemed to think of something. Sun Han's eyes suddenly raised. She was taken away. It occurred to him that he felt a strange smell in the haze last night. But only 1 second. I didn't care what illusion I thought it was, and I seemed to be sleepy yesterday. Now think about it. If that person can really abduct Yunwu and only feel the abnormality for 1 second, it will be normal. She was taken away by your side. Sitolan's eyes narrowed. He looked at the evil dragon in disbelief. Who can take her away from him? The strength of the 2 of them is already very adverse. How adverse should the man who took her away? Long Qingxie nodded slightly, moved his eyes away from the orchid, turned, and walked into the palace. The orchid was plucked a petal. Long Qingxie looked around at the palace and never let go of every corner. Since the man has taken Yunwu away, he must have a purpose. If he has a purpose, he must stay behind some clues for him to find out. Suddenly, he put his eyes on a painting on the wall of the palace, which is a beautiful picture of mountains and rivers. He remembers that when he glanced at this picture yesterday, the girl's eyes were light and calm, and she was wearing a blue flowing skirt. But now the pretty girl's eyes were bright, her eyes were moving, and she was wearing a brown suit. Did you find anything? Sitolan went into the palace and looked at the words on the wall of Long Qingxie. He lost his mind and said in a deep voice. Long Qingxie narrowed his eyes and looked at the strange clothes. There was a dark meditation at the bottom of his eyes. How can this dress look so familiar? Suddenly, the undercurrent surged in his eyes, and his eyes were cold. It's that when I was in that strange space, I met a man in strange clothes. At first, he didn't remember, just because he wasn't sure it was a woman. Now it's just her, the person in the strange space. Long Qingxia's eyes were cold and murmured. Although he didn't see the woman's face clearly, her strange dress was really unique. Who is it? Situ Lan looks at Long Qingxia's expression and doubts. Help me to see if there are any names of places and people on this painting. Long Qingxia's eyes are cold, and it seems that he can guess that the woman is coming for him. At the beginning, after fighting for half a month, they didn't decide whether to win or lose. Her strength can be imagined. No wonder she can take Cloud Dance away from him. It's just, what did she do with Yunwu? What is the destination? Damn it! If anyone dares to touch her hair, he will tear her to pieces. Look here. Does it look like a word? Situ Lan's eyes flashed, pointing to the lantern road in the woman's hand. On the lantern is a blood-red orchid. The shape of the orchid is like the word Shang. Up! Dragon Qing, Xia looked at the orchid, sword eyebrow low. Keep flying brain. Orchid outside the door was pulled off a petal. Here again, orchid. Absolutely not a coincidence. Focusing on the woman's dress in his memory, he was sure that she was definitely not from mainland China. So the word on it would not be Situ Lan, and Long Qingxia raised their eyes together and looked at each other. They thought of the answer in their hearts. Upper bound? Situ Lan was not sure, but he said the answer in his heart. At the end of the speech, the dragon tilted his evil head slightly, and the depth of his eyes was as deep as an abyss. Their answer came up with a peace. That means that the answer is correct. Just as Situ Lan wanted to say something, he didn't speak again when he heard the sound of footsteps outside the palace. Prince, the good time is coming. It's time to change. Outside the palace, the maid who had just sent the clothes carefully said that she did not dare to lift her head. Just now, the cold breath of Dragon Qingxia, like death, really scared her. She was brave enough to come back, tell everyone that the marriage will be postponed. Long Qingxia glanced at the maids outside the palace coldly, and his deep and piercing voice came out. At the end of the speech, the maiden waiting for a moment seemed unable to respond to the sudden situation. After a long time, she said, yes. Outside the palace, the trumpet was loud and noisy. The atmosphere in the palace is solemn and cold. Are you going? Situ Lan Ning took a look at the dragon, and his worried look flashed by. My woman is there. Of course I have to go. Long Qingxia roared. His eyes were scarlet, with a hint of danger. His white fingers clucked, trying to hide his anger at the moment. Situ Lan glanced at him and put his eyes on the woman in the painting again. He raised a helpless smile at the corner of his mouth. This is not the peach blossom debt you caused, is it? Long Qingxia's cold light flashed across his face. Do you think so? I think so. Situ Lan cold humze. The eye ground doesn't have the facial expression of a silk joke. The woman in the painting is handsome and heroic, and her facial features are extremely delicate and grand. It's a beautiful woman with a certain flavor. At night, it should be a woman who doesn't pay attention to details. There is a glimmer of autumn in her charming eyes. Situ Lan had no choice but to raise his mouth and glance at the dragon, picking eyebrows at him. It's not your peach blossom dead. Who is she looking at? A little dance? Or is the eye bad? Usually like this? Long Qingxia's eyes were dark. He couldn't refute his words, but he felt extremely ridiculous. A woman who hasn't even seen her face, but has played a game and hasn't decided whether to win or lose, and has never met again. Is it his peach blossom debt? Isn't it a little ridiculous? But why do you think it really means something like this no matter what? As long as she dares to hurt her, he will not let her go. He has no good habit of not killing women. The truth in the palace comes to the surface, and the atmosphere of killing is a little calmer, but outside the palace, there is a lot of doubt. The news of their marriage delay, like a deep water bomb, caused 1,000 waves. Everyone's heart is a little bit confused. How can suddenly postpone the wedding date? The postponement of marriage, which caused a sensation in mainland China, became a hot topic again, just like the news of their marriage. It's said that Yunwu escaped marriage. It is said that Yunwu deliberately let Long Qingxia relax his vigilance and ran away in the middle of the night. Some people say that after sleeping all night, they found something they didn't find before. So they ran away. There are so many rumors that it means never to die. Maybe it means Yunwu ran away and Long Xiao was dumped. Inside the palace, listening to the noise outside, after a dead silence, it finally returned to normal again. Go out and explain. Long Su is covered by a kingdom. Sidu Lan looked at Long Qingxie, sipped his lazy lips, patted him on the shoulder, indicating that he was relieved. He knew that there were many women, which was far more important to him than anything, including Long Shugua. Dragon Qing Evil quietly sighed. The fundus can't say anything complicated. And then it will see two Lan embrace in the bosom. Don't let him see his so sensational side. Good brother, if there is a next life, whether you are male or female, I will marry you as my concubine. After that, he released Sidolan and left the palace without looking back. Who is the wife? Sidolan raised a radian at the corner of his mouth and joked. She, of course. If you have a daughter-in-law and forget your brother, you must bring Xiao back, or you will not come back to Longzuguo. In the silent palace, Sidolan looked at the place where the figure had disappeared and said in a low voice. In the square of the palace, everyone's eyes were fixed on the figure in the distance, which seemed to be walking on a leisurely court. The noisy crowd was silent and seemed to resonate, waiting for the dragon to explain to them. Long Qingxie walks in the crowd and walks towards Long Yaozi, with a touch of guilt passing by his eyes. Long Yaozi just gave him a smile. It seemed that he didn't know what the unexpected people thought. 3 princes, where his 9 wenches? Yun Qi, who has been listening to the whispers of the crowd, looks extremely ugly. After seeing Long Qingxie, he can't help roaring in a loud voice. He just wants Long Qingxie to wash away his slander for Yunwu. If he can endure the slander of Yunwu for so long, his cultivation of patience has also improved a lot. At this time, dressed in noble and festive crowd, a sudden white figure appeared in plain clothes. On the white robe of Nanganji, there are some slovenly and incorruptible figures, showing a trace of fatigue. Under the white veil, those indifferent eyes are staring at the dragon for a moment. After he learned that she had disappeared, he frantically looked for every corner of the palace, but did not find her. He knew that something must have happened to her. If she ran away from marriage, she would not allow him to get married. If she did, she would not run away. Then she's gone. There's only one explanation. She's taken away his father, had made a budget for her future. Her life was destined to pursue and not be calm. What she wanted was leisurely in the mountains and forests. She wanted to do whatever she wanted. There was still a long way to go to realize it, so he's gambling that this marriage won't work. Although he won the bet, he found that the bet was too big and he didn't know how to save it. In the end, he had to follow his steps. Nangong, he looks at the dragon to pour evil. Calm Mao Sun inside. Can't say is what's strange. High up, Long Qingxie glanced at the crowd and said, today's marriage is postponed. It's a temporary decision after my discussion with the princess. I'm going to travel around China and get married after I come back. Do you have any questions? When they finished speaking, the crowd continued to hush. Is this marriage for children? It's delayed if it's delayed. I don't understand what young people think. Oh, Wulong farce. Long Qingxie listened to everyone's discussion. Although everyone felt that his decision was absurd, the result was very optimistic. No one doubted the truth of the reason he said. It's ridiculous. It's hundreds of times better than saying he was dumped. When Yunqi heard his reply, his fierce eyes suddenly got angry, but he soon covered it up. After more than half of his life, how could he not understand the meaning of White Dragon's evil? It seems that 9 girls really met with something tricky. On the other hand, Yinlingyi is also very clear. The South Palace answers to him. Indifference of Mao Sun have no half-cent billows. What he waits for is he leaves. Next, I will announce one thing. Today I will pass the throne to the 3 princes. When he gets married, he will be in charge of the government. During this period, I will take charge of the government for him. Long Yaozi seemed to feel that the water was not turbulent enough, so he dropped a deep water bomb again. All of a sudden, the atmosphere under the stage became hot again. With a low, buzzing sound, I wanted to fry my head in the pan. Long Qingxia's eyes narrowed slightly, and he looked at Long Yaoza puzzled. How could he be so anxious to give him the throne? Long Yaoza just looked at him with a smile. His eyes were unpredictable. I'm afraid only he knows the reason. He doesn't care about the time of the throne. Anyway, it will be as sooner or later. Now the most important thing is to find Yunwu as soon as possible. If she stays more, she will be more dangerous. After the wedding day, Long Ziguo and Yunfu have become the biggest discussion points. To be nice, Long Ziguo and Yunfu are more famous because of them. To be ugly, they have become the laughingstock of people in mainland China. However, Yunchi has not paid so much attention to his face ever since he had a clean hand. Rumors are all around him, but as long as he doesn't slander Yunwu, he doesn't care about anything. Long Yaoza's mind changed greatly from being controlled to being dispelled. He was not as dignified and melancholy as before. He always had a light smile on his face. He didn't care about Long Shui's scandal. He knew more or less about his son. He knew that there must be something in it, but they didn't ask too much. If they can't solve the problem by themselves, they will naturally say that they have solved the problem. If they don't say it, they don't have to worry about it. The dark night came again, and the starry night seemed to announce that the day had passed. In the quiet palace, the gloomy atmosphere diffuses everywhere. A white figure stood in front of the window, baptizing the clear moonlight, which made his breath colder. Long Qingxia looks at the dark night, and his sword eyebrows are slightly solidified. He didn't know much about the upper world, and he doubted the purpose of the woman's kidnapping Yunwu. It's too far-fetched to say it's a peach blossom dead. There must be some purpose behind it. Little thing, I'm sure you can solve the emergency situation by yourself. She saw the skill of removing the moves. He had seen it. It must be no problem. He kept repeating it in his heart and persuading himself. The moon is bright and the stars are sparse. The clear light is shining, and the night is doomed to be sleepless. In the shabby thatched house, a touch of morning light shines through the gap of the thatch. When you enter the house, a touch of light falls on the woman in purple lying on the ground. I saw that woman's eyelashes trembled slightly like a fan and slowly opened her eyes. Pain was her first sensation when she woke up. Yunwu felt that she was being teased by a hard thing on her body. She wanted to stretch out her hand to support her body and stand up, but she found that her hands and feet were tied and she couldn't move. The rope that tied her was suffused with the blue light of water element, and the spiritual power loomed. Yunwu looks at the water element rope on her feet, lowers her eyebrows, and lies on the straw. She glances at the shabby room and is surprised. It's a pity that someone can find such a rotten room. Under the body's sharp pain let her unbearable. Cloud dance turned over, the pain feeling hot attack. She glanced at the thing under her body. A cold light in her eyes passed by. It was a sharp tool with round, 3 sharp corners made of a stone. Uncle, who is so vicious? She can still feel the tingling in her abdomen. Now Cloud Dance recalled yesterday, really can't remember how she was caught here. She usually sleep very shallow. Only that night sleep a little deep. Don't be quietly kidnapped? If it was not that her body didn't feel the effects of sleeping pills and hypnotic incense, she must suspect that she had been drugged to sleep to death. Squeak! The door of the broken house was opened. Yunwu looks at the woman who comes near the door. She is the one who kidnapped her? The woman's black silk poured down, and her delicate features were almost perfect, unlike the stinginess of other people's delicate features. On the contrary, it is the feeling of special atmosphere. One eye is bright and charming, with a trace of cunning color. She was dressed like a modern hunter, with delicate deerskin and a wide belt around her waist. She looked very brave, but she can see that it's not her nature to wake. Jinyan went to Yunwu and looked at Yunwu lying on the straw. She disdained to smile and disdained. Such a woman, I really doubt what he likes about you. At the end of the speech, the cloud danced for a second, and a cold light flashed in his eyes, sneering. I'm sorry, when I met him, He was wearing a headgear, which hindered his sight. This sentence made Jinyu's face sink. Cloud Dance looked up to see through the outside of the house, glanced at Jinyu, and said, "How long have I been in a coma?" "Yesterday morning to this morning, the time of the day." Jinyu said, sarcastic smile, the corner of the mouth across a mysterious smile. "Don't worry, Pro is temporarily can't become." There was a trace of patience in her eyes. Yesterday was a happy day for her. The new lady suddenly disappeared on the eve of her marriage. Should mainland China be a sensation when the news spread? But she didn't know that the most sensational time had passed yesterday. "Can you let me go now?" Cloud Dance piao her one eye. The silver in the eye ground cold creeps suddenly appear. But his behavior is very calm. Because at this time, if she is flustered and anxious, it will only make this woman feel happy. She is a person who never likes to see her opponents happy. Jinyu said, laughing at the words, provocative eyes full. "Let you go? I'm going to take you for fun. Then I'll be more respectful than obedient." The cloud dances. The corners of the mouth are slightly raised, and a trace of coldness passes through the eyes. She always plays with others. Does this woman want to play with her? Do you dream of leisure in spring and autumn? "Miss, what can I do for you?" Suddenly, a sound came from outside the broken house, which was sent in by spirit power. Yunwu was surprised to find that she could not see the strength of the two men. Has her strength receded? How can individuals not see their strength? That woman hears the words outside the door, the corner of mouths and smiles. "Come in to talk." Finish speaking. Next second, a black figure blocked the light in front of the door. In a flash, the light reappeared. The man had already stood in front of Yunwu and Jinyu. After seeing the cloud dance, the man's eagle eyes obviously fluctuated, and the undercurrent in his eyes seemed to crush the cloud dance. "Are you?" Yunwu recognized the man as soon as he entered the door, and the witch she met when she took her to the ancient town. "Why is she here? Is this the ancient town? Why is she here?" Jin Lao's eagle-like eyes look at Jin Yu's words, and his tone is burning with anger. "Haha, it seems that there's a little grudge between you." At the end of Jin Yu's words, she looks at the charming eyes and looks at the cloud dance, which seems to hide another layer of meaning. Cloud dance sneer is some gratitude and resentment, but injustice has a head. Debt has, "I will not be the head of injustice." Although this is Jin Yu's reply, she is looking at Jin Lao. She seems to be saying that what makes you dumb is sublime. Don't rely on her. The smell of the witch people was floating in the shabby, thatched house. The cloud danced and coagulated a glance at the old man, frowning slightly. A witch who has experienced life and death should know a lot. "Give her to me." The eagle eyes of old Jin looked at Jinyu and said, "Where do you think you are older than him?" Jin Yu's words cold hum a smile, disdain of glance at gold old one eye. Hearing this, Mr. Jin's face changed slightly and his eyes were full of anger. He held his hand tightly under his sleeve robe and tried to conceal his anger. Cloud dance, a sneer at the bottom of his eyes. This man is really stupid. He is teased by lofty calculation and satirized by this woman. Is she the one he wants? Jinyu glanced at him, and his eyes were dark. Yes. The golden eagle's eyes were cold, and he held back his anger. That's good. She'll be in your charge for a day. I have something else to do. Jinyan stood up, raised her long hair, and pulled it up. She was full of heroism, but her heart revealed a very gloomy atmosphere. When Jin Lao heard the words, his forehead suddenly relaxed, and there was a bit of surprise and greed in his eagle eyes. Yunwu takes back her eyes, and the meditation under her eyes looms. Don't be killed. When she came to the door, Jinyu's voice floated in again. As soon as the words fell, she disappeared. Yunwu was surprised at her speed, and at the same time, she was surprised how to deal with Jin Lao. She secretly vowed in her heart that if conditions permit, she would give back what she did today thousands of times. Cloud dance is the use of strength to break through the shackles of hands and feet, but found that the greater the strength, the closer the close, the heart suddenly clattered. Don't do it. If she doesn't open it for you, you can't open it. Jean Lao's interesting voice suddenly rang in the simple, desolate, and quiet hut. Cloud dance eyebrow alone. Looking at gold, old eye ground of greedy color, star, eye tiny cold. This double-eyed bead, really how to see how not pleasing to the eye. Who is that woman? Cloud dance cold glanced at him one eye, unexpectedly, and gold old doesn't chat. You think I'll tell you? Old Jin's gloomy eyes swept away and walked to Yunwu on foot. It was like looking at a delicious food. Oh, it turns out that this is the witch people. Why don't you call it the Rot-Tan people? Don't forget, you are the witch's saint. That's why I don't think I've got any light on my face. I'm a member of your family. You have no right to bargain with me now. Do you think you're my opponent if you let me go? I'm not sure what Yunwu said. Hearing this, Mr. Jean was stunned for a moment. Then he burst out laughing. Let's have a chat first. Looking at Yunwu, Mr. Jean didn't seem to be procrastinating. Instead, he wanted to die. He simply answered her question. But he didn't know that it was wrong to say that she wanted to die. She seemed to cherish her life. She is the eldest lady of Tsanyan Castle in the upper world. I can't figure out why she came to arrest you. Gold old such as Eagle Eye Sun Ahook sat to Cloud Dance side. Yunwu frowned slightly. It's obvious that he is not happy with this action. But if you want to know more, you have to compromise. She tolerates it, he said, the eldest lady of Tsanyan Castle in the upper boundary. A place I haven't even heard of. How can I think of catching her? If you just want to stop her from marrying Long Qingxie, it should be more direct to catch Long Qingxie, right? Think of Long Qingxie. Her eyes flashed a touch of worry. This man must be angry, right? But Yunwu can be sure that this woman must have left some traces. When he finds out that with the man's ingenuity, he will find something. Can she begin to look forward to his arrival now? So you mean if she didn't come for me, there would be others? The cloud dances to slant to see a pick eyebrow way. Is her life so good? Everyone wants to catch her, or does it have something to do with the status of witch saint? Yes. Mr. Jean nodded. Who? The cloud dances, the eye ground is cold. The gate of beasts has been destroyed. Although it's strange to destroy it, I really can't feel the existence of the gate of beasts. Besides the gate of beasts, who else wants to catch her? Who else has been trying to catch you besides the beast gate? The golden eagle's eyes flashed, and when he mentioned the beast gate, the look of the fundus of his eyes passed by a touch of abnormality. The beast gate has been destroyed. Cloud dance micro frown. In the heart suddenly burst out an idea. This idea let her whole person sweat hair all frighten. It's naive of you to think so. Old Jean snorted coldly. You mean? I've already said what I shouldn't, and now I don't want to. Old Jin's mouth turned cold, and his eyes became greedy when he looked at Yunwu. The witch saint was not soon. Does he mean that the beast gate still exists? The difference between Cloud Dance's eyes passes by, but there is no time to think about it. Cloud Dance hangs mouth a sneer, the corner of the mouth die a touch of radiant. Since you don't want to say that I also can't force a person to be difficult. Suddenly, a touch of purple shadow passed by. Yunwu had broken away from the shackles of strange water elements and stood steadily elsewhere, looking at the lazy old man, but his eyes were sharp. The golden eagle's eyes were surprised. Then he said, I didn't expect that you could break away from her shackles. What you didn't expect is still behind you. Cloud Dance, the corner of the mouth a yawn, in cold way. He has to pay the same price as Moibing for the greed in his eyes. Even if he is a witch, it's also the snow willow of the dark family. With anger, Jean Leoning stood up, with power looming in his palm. It seemed that he wanted to seize Yunwu with force. The cloud dances, the corners of the mouth pull, the eyes will reach the freezing point, just as I wish. Suddenly, the black flame broadsword sonorous presented, compared with her figure, extremely abrupt. Looking at the black flame dagger, the eagle's eyes were startled. In a flash, the power of his palm was brushed, and he went straight to the cloud dance. As soon as the cloud danced, the thatched cottage suddenly trembled. It seems that I can't bear the power of that palm. and I can't bear the sound of wailing. In a flash, the roof split a single gap, growing. Two figures jumped out of the thatched cottage in the air. In a flash, the thatched cottage collapsed. Miserable, with the grass flying, confused the line of sight, blurred each other. The sound is not too loud, but it attracts people who go to the ancient town in the distance. It seems that there is another wonderful fight today. I advise you to stop, or she won't be so lucky when she comes back. The golden eagle's eyes are cold, and he looks at the cloud dance angrily. Cloud dance hangs out a sneer. Your fear don't represent me. Even if no clearly is to lose, also won't show that kind of counseling appearance. Her voice came out with the power of anger. Did he mean that the woman was more arrogant? Oh, she wants to let him know that martial arts is just a kind of auxiliary, real arrogant capital in the bone. Boom. In the clear sky, a strange flash of lightning came out. Old Jean raised his eyes and glanced up at the top. Surprise appeared in the bottom of his eyes. Is this the thunder element? This woman has thunder elements. He suddenly looks at the cloud dance, and his forehead is covered with invisible cold sweat. Is this the strength that can compete with Yebing? The cloud dances bloodthirsty and squints at a smile. The water element in the palm of the hand suddenly sweeps out, and the thunder element pours into the air. The intersection of the minds is fusion and exclusion. Suddenly, the minds met, repelling a strong force, and strangely headed for the king. As soon as Jin's face coagulated, he covered his eyes with surprise, raised his hand, and pinched the void. The repulsive power of the mind stopped in midair and could not move forward. Next second, bang, there was a loud noise, and the smoke was rolling around. Dark haze attacked Dai, with a touch of burnt taste, full of, waiting for the dark haze falling. Yunwu squints at the bottom of his eyes and can't help laughing. Is this new model popular this year? In front of him, he was dressed in a black robe. After the explosion, his whole body was black from top to bottom, except for a pair of white eyes. There is no black man in legend. Yunwu's mockery and smile are getting bigger and bigger. She just dropped an explosive into the mind power. Although Jean Laoji stopped the action of the mind, he could not stop the time of explosive explosion. You cheat on me? Old Jin's roar was inexhaustible, and the eagle's eyes were as dark as the light of his face. Cloud Dance looked at old Jin's one closed mouth. One tooth was set off with a strange white, forced to sip the corners of his mouth, and said with a smile, Cheat? Don't say you are not tired of deceit. As long as you can win the trick, it's all above board. You, Old Gold was Cloud Dance, said unexpectedly, have no words to refute. Eagle eyes, cold, creepy stare at Cloud Dance. Kill idea diffuse everywhere. Seek death. Suddenly, the black figure passed the place like a charm, with a sharp roaring, and the phantom spread the unique flavor of the witch people straight to the clouds. As soon as the cloud dances around the corner of his mouth, the sonorous edge of the black flame sword gradually increases. The colorful brilliance of the black flame sword is constantly eroded, disappearing and reborn. The combination of 5 elements, the power of magic bite, and the light of black flame dagger itself. 7 kinds of colors around, dazzle half of the sky. ZZ Power seems to have been unable to restrain the general. Rub ran ready to go. Even she was looking forward to the power of this blow. The cloud dances, the corner of the mouth is cold and bloodthirsty, and the scarlet and red spread in the fundus of the eyes. Bang! A huge force spread between them, diffuse, emitting a strange light, like clear lotus, like silver frost. The 2 figures were forced back by this force, and they immediately stepped back for dozens of steps. After the breath of the impact was stable, the dust spread and fell, and the vision was clear. 2 straight scratches came into our eyes, which were the traces of Yunwu and Jinlao being forced back. The woman in the strange brown dress, standing at the intersection of the 2 scratches, looked at Yunwu and Mr. Jin from left to right, with a cold and strange smell. Cloud Dance slightly frowned, I ground flits past, surprised, one blow beat gold old attack fly. This woman's strength is really so strong? No. Should we say that all the people in the upper world are so strong? Congealing Jean use anger. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to pull up to put on a smile. Return really a person who is happy and angry not to hide. Go out a trip. The whole person seemed to be burnt by the anger in general. Really let a person daydream. Take her away. Jean Yu said to open his voice and roar. The appearance of anger is self-evident. At the end of the speech, several men in white robes appeared in mid-air, just like hiding in the air. The cloud dances, the eye light is cold. The black flame big knife ZZ is calling. Chilly is burning sound. Suddenly, a white ripple light of the net. Overwhelming. The cloud dances, the eyes are cold, and it's impossible to escape. So the palm turns, and the most powerful force of the black flame sword is wielded. Bang. Exclusion suddenly sounded. The power of black flame dagger was rebounded back. Cloud dance eyes a tight, fundus surprise streamer across. A front air jump body, by their own power, embarrassed to play more than 10 meters. There's no need to resist. It's a net made of Tiankanhu's silk, which is naturally formed in the upper world. Let alone you. Even people at 2 higher levels can't break out. Jean Lao's voice came with a slight irony. Cloud dance eyes swept a touch of surprise. Day silk? What a weird thing. On the next side, the huge net falls down and wraps Yunwu in it. What's strange is that the net can expand and shrink automatically. It's just a few tens of meters away, but now it's only as big as a sack, which can hold her. Cloud dance glanced at Jean Yu's words, and a sneer passed quietly. Since she has to take her away, and she is not sure that she can beat her, then follow her wish. Several people in white robe leave with Yunwu. When they leave, Yunwu takes a cold glance at Jinyu and finds that she is also looking at her, but there is a kind of incomprehensible complexity at the bottom of her eyes. Just like she robbed her beloved things, the resentment, the anger, the gloomy desire to make her cramp, it's not really because Cloud Dance's forehead black line suddenly appeared. Whether it is not, her heart has the evil man scolded 1,000 times 10,000 times. This is the world's best evil rogue, shameless girl, who is in trouble. Under the leadership of Jin Yuyin, they walked on the market street with a lot of people, which attracted everyone's attention. They felt different from the previous 2 times. Their eyes were more mysterious and strange. Cloud Dance micro-frown. Is it because of this woman's reason? Do they all know her? Suddenly, Yunwu noticed a cold light in the crowd. She glanced at the direction with her tiny eyes, but found nothing unusual. Cloud Dance frowns slightly, meditates strictly. Is it illusion? She always thinks that this place is very strange. It seems that everyone has extraordinary strength. Is this ancient town really special? Is it related to the upper bound? Soon, Jin Yuyin took them through the crowd and came to a secluded path which looked very desolate, as if no one would pass by. A sheep intestine bend, above weeds everywhere, but to a few bright flowers, drooling, it seems that a slight touch can be broken. Cloud Dance looked at this abrupt scene. Star Isa am I? Grass grows so embarrassed. Flowers can open so bright. Jinyu looked at Yunwu. Her mouth was cold and sharp, but her eyes were very disdainful. After a while, you can go back by yourself. I have something else to do. If my father asks, he says he hasn't seen me. She took a look at the white robes dancing in the clouds. Yes, the man in white is respectful. Border? Cloud Dance, eyes a lung. A moment of meditation. Suddenly, Yunwu seems to understand something. Isn't this the boundary leading to the upper boundary? Why do you take me to the upper boundary? The cloud dances. The Mao light is cold, in the heart, as if the faintness can guess what, say again is what. Martial arts practitioners who don't want to enter the upper boundary through the border one day. I'll take you. Shouldn't you be grateful to me? Jin Yu's charming eyes were calm, just like a sharp blade watching the clouds. If eyes could kill people, Yunwu would be full of holes now. Cloud Dance's eyes flashed a little doubt, clearly a pair of eager to strangle her appearance. But endure will take her to the upper world. It seems that the people waiting for her are in the upper bound. Jin Yu Yin took back her eyes and looked at the end of Yanchang Path. Her figure swept away, and it was at the end in an instant. The brown figure lingered lightly, and the power between the palms was constantly emerging with a strange light. At the moment when the light faded, several white-robed people moved away with clouds. Yinwu only felt that it was dark in front of her. When she opened her eyes again, she was slightly stunned by the scene in front of her. In front of me is a green grass. If you look around, you can't see the edge. There is a babbling stream in the middle of the grass. The water is clear and the pebbles can be seen. It is rare that there is such a natural stream on the grassland. Cloud Dance frowns and glances around, only to find that the familiar sky has changed color. The sky is as blue as a mirror, as if you can touch the white clouds with your hand. What surprised her even more was that the ancient town was under her feet. Jejia is located in the human world, which is far away from the upper world. However, they arrive in an instant after passing the Jejia. She has also noticed everything in Shanggu Town and has not found any difference in the sky above Shanggu Town. Standing in the upper world, she can clearly see Shanggu Town. The connection between the two is really interesting. This boundary should be the entrance to the upper boundary, right? Do all the people who go to the ancient town know the existence of this boundary? Is it really so easy for the young lady to pass the strange border so easily? Or does she have some secret weapon? Jinyu let several white-robed people go back to Tsangyin Castle first. She took Yinwu to another direction. It's supposed to be a job, isn't it? Cloud Dance slightly frowns. The contemplation of the fundus of the eye passes by. Her strength is above her. Besides, she is still a young lady, and her character is not like that kind of submissive person. How can she do things for others? Cloud Dance mouth mysterious smile appears. She did this thing. The benefits behind must be considerable. A touch of fine calculation swept her eyes. Miss, who asked you to arrest me? Cloud Dance follows behind Jinyu's speech, sidelong her one-eye way. Jinyu said that the whip of wood element led the Cloud Dance and hummed coldly. Catch you, catch you. Do you think anyone can ask me to catch people? Cloud Dance eyes quietly across a cold, really arrogant. Who are you going to give me to? Or now that I've been arrested by you, you should let me be arrested, right? Jin Yu Yin suddenly stopped, turned around, took a glance at Cloud Dance, and snorted. It's okay to tell you that Liao Zongtian, the leader of the Thundergate, used a 1,000-year-old imperial spirit bead to name you in exchange for your life. Do you think it's worth it? Cloud Dance cold glanced at her. She is saying that this trip is worth, or that she is worth it. But what is the Royal Pearl? Yunwu frowned slightly, and the searcher remembered that she was ignorant, as if she had never heard of it. In my mind, the golden light of the Dragon Scroll appears, but it doesn't show any content. It's estimated that the news about the Royal Pearl is on other incomplete Dragon Scroll. That's why you went to the human world to catch me? The Cloud dances, the eyes are slightly narrowed, and there are doubts in the words. Yulingzu, as the name suggests, is a panacea for improving martial arts skills. Would a proud and distinguished young lady do things for others? I don't believe in ghosts. Jinyu heard her words. Enchanting eyes abnormal flash. Up and down looked at the Cloud Dance for a while. Disdain way. I also now feel some worthless. So easily tied Cloud Dance. Let her some doubt. This woman exactly where is worth him to like? Cloud Dance facial expression a dark. The corner of the mouth pulls out to put on a sneer that can tell the imperial spirit bead to have what function. With your current strength, it should be no problem to upgrade a level, but you don't seem to have much hope. Jinyu said and pulled the whip in her hand, then turned around and left. Yunwu naturally didn't see the scorn of her eyes, because after she said that she was promoted to a higher level, the light of her eyes became brighter. Upgrade 1 level? That thing is so powerful. The Cloud Dance Phoenix Mao 1 Mi. Looking at Jinyu speeches back. The blind-eyed dark mane contemplates to pass by, the corner of the mouth a put-on bloodthirsty cunning point of smile to emerge. Since it's so good, I'll take it for you. At the moment of Jinyu's sudden surprise, Yunwoo has broken away the wood element whip, a rapid rotation, and has come to Jinyu's eyes. Suddenly, Jinyu's face twisted and Dai Mei lowered. Her hands felt burning. She was surprised to see that her hands had been tied by a whip with a real flame. She was shocked. Palm's strength emerged. Want to break through the fire whip, but in exchange for more burning. Don't struggle a minute. The burning temperature increases 10. Cloud Dance pulls the fire whip and raises a demonic sneer at the corner of his mouth. What is this? Jin Yuyan looked at the real flame on her wrist, and her strength reappeared, but in exchange for more scorching temperature, a touch of surprise passed in her eyes. This kind of real flame she had never met. It seems that I need you to believe me. Without waiting for Jinyu to figure out the meaning of her words, Yunwoo's purple fighting air splashes out and attacks Jinyu's wrist fire whip. Ah! The screams followed. Fire whip encountered a strong force, burning more intense. The kind of skin is about to melt away feeling. Let her forehead exude a drop of sweat. What do you want to do? Jin Yuyan Tong Mao a ruthless, surprised angry stare at Cloud Dance. It was her carelessness. She thought that the strength of this woman was in the early days of Wuzuan, but she didn't expect that her strength had already exceeded that of the early days. You tied me up. Are you tired? Take a break. I'll help you with the rest. Cloud Dance lips a hook, pull open a bloodthirsty, strange radiant. You! Jinyu Yin stares at Yunwoo. What else did she want to say? With a flick of Yunwoo's fingertip, she can only kill Yunwoo with her eyes. A body of strength, no place to stretch, can only be at the mercy of Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance leads Jinyu to say, the lip-caped tears to spread a cold on. No matter how strong your strength is, you can't beat your brain. If you meet someone who is stronger than yourself, you should use your brain to win. Yunwoo followed Jinyu's direction and soon saw a town. Qingyong City. Yunwoo looks at the three big characters at the gate of the city, turns his mouth, and leads Jinyu into the city. She leads Jinyu to say that in the human world, it will attract everyone's attention, but this is the upper world. Since Yunwoo entered Qingyong City, many passers-by came and went. Only occasionally someone glanced at her, only a few seconds away, completely ignoring the strange phenomenon that the fire whip tied the woman. The Cloud dances with a black eyebrow. I deeply sympathize with these people in the upper world. Strange phenomena are so common that I should be used to them. It's said that there's a silver list in the Paeong Gate. As long as you catch someone, you'll give him a royal pearl. Your news is too backward. The silver list has been exposed for a long time. I've also heard about it. It seems that it's a mysterious woman. I'm not very clear about the specific situation. Yunwoo passed a restaurant and met several people who had just come out of the restaurant. They stopped to listen to the news. The corner of her mouth seemed to smile. It was the news she needed. Ah, elder brother, it's the silver list of the Thunder Gate. Why don't you go and have a look? Cloud danced as several people chat up a smile, pretending to be ignorant asked. Several men cast a suspicious glance at Yunwoo. Their eyes were on Jinyu's body behind her, and they stayed for a moment. I've been exposed for a long time, little girl. I advise you to go there and see if there's any copperplate you can pick up so as not to ask for trouble. The man pointed to a golden place in the distance. Copper list? Silver list? There won't be a golden list, will there? Cloud danced eyes of black. Along the man pointed to the place to lift eyes to glance. Vaguely saw a word. Eyes a cold smile quietly flashed. Yes, thank you, brother. I'll go and have a look now. Yunwoo gets the news she wants and leads Jinyu to the past. One in front of the other and the other behind. Jinyu said that although she was not as brilliant as the clouds, she was also a beauty. Yunwoo's eyes are low and his mouth is smiling. At first glance, it looks like a poodle. It's quite classy behind her. Jinyu said that her anger under her charming eyes could almost burn 10 miles away. Yunwoo pretended to be imperceptible and let her anger ignite. After a while, Yunwu came to the place where the man pointed. Looking at it, he was satisfied with his eyes. Thunder Gate. The whole gate and wall courtyard are stone. Cloud Dance glances at the top of the wall, and there is a cold light in her eyes. The stone wall is only 1.5 people high, but the sky is covered by powerful spiritual power. The hazy spiritual power is like ripples, constantly fluctuating. She was 10 meters away from the Lingli mask, and she could still feel the strength of Lingli clearly. There was a stone gate under the wall, and there were 2 guards outside. It seems that the only entrance to the gate is this stone gate. Cloud Dance moves her eyes to the extremely dazzling plaque. The plaque is as clear as water, with some haze. It looks like a plaque suddenly supported by some powerful spiritual power. She was stunned at the design of a plaque. Isn't it more weird inside the gate? On the plaque, there is an introduction to the gate. Cloud Dance looked at the introduction. A trace of surprise passed in her eyes. Upper bound the aggregation point of all messages? Where is the origin of the elixir in the human world? With all kinds of rare pills in the world, is the worst enough to upgrade 1 stage? My God! Cloud Dance exclaimed from the bottom of his heart. What is the place of this Thunder Gate? It's just a bad name. The background is scary. When he moved his eyes to the middle, his amazing eyes suddenly turned black. There were 3 square squares on them, which were written bronze, silver, and gold. There's a golden list. Is it a gold list nomination? Yunwu takes back her eyes and is even more interested in Pei Hongmin. To whom? Yunwu comes to the gate of the Thunder Gate and is stopped by the guard at the gate. Master Liao Zongtian. Cloud Dance cold glance guard in different way. The guard was stunned for a moment when he heard the words, and then looked at Yunwu warily. What's the matter with the headmaster? After exposing the silver list, it's time to deliver the goods. Cloud Dance glances at the guard. His eyes are cold. The style of the gate is really different. Even a small guard has such sharp eyes. Wait, who's looking for me? The guard just wanted to say, wait a moment. A husky Hanson voice came out of the door and interrupted the guard. As the stone door opened, a man in a leather robe came out. Yunwu looked at the man who came out, with thick eyebrows and sharp eyes. He was about 40 years old, but he had white hair which was very abrupt and strange. The result is the same. She can't see his strength. You want me? Liao Zongtian, with his hands behind his back and sharp eyes, looks down at Yunwu. Cloud Dance put away the look, slightly jaw-head, in different way. You want people brought? Liao Zongtian squints his eyes and looks at Jinyu behind Yunwu. His deep eyes stop for a few seconds, and he looks at Yunwu again. Are you sure she is? She was so noisy all the way that I called her dumb acupoint. Did she tell you her identity? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow way. Liao Zongtian was silent for a long time and said, No, bring it in. Cloud Dance's smile passed quietly. Who would admit that he was the one he was looking for in this fatal situation? It's the same whether you open your mouth or not. As soon as he stepped into the door, Yunwu felt a powerful spiritual power coming in an instant. Thinking about it, he knew that the spiritual power came from the spiritual mask above. Liao Zongtian takes her into a corner. When she crosses the corner, she sees an ordinary house. It's not a stone wall, and it has no powerful pressure. Cloud Dance's eyes were surprised. Is this another courtyard, or the inner courtyard of the Thunder Gate? Jin Yuyin, who is following them, sees this scene. Her eyes are low, and her eyes wander around. She seems to want to see it clearly. Although Yunwu's back is facing her, she can still feel her movements, and the corners of her mouth outline a curve. It seems that she has long wanted to visit here. Yunwu followed Liao Zongtian to the house room, and the 3 sat down. Master, I've come here. I don't know if I can bring something? The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to put on a smile. The eye bottom actually flits over to put on an imperceptible meditation calculation. There will be no less than what the Thunder Gate has promised. Come and get something. Liao Zongtian's eyesight was heavy, and he was obviously not happy with what Yunwu wanted just after he sat down. Wait a minute. Cloud Dance's hands slightly lift, called to turn around to leave of attendant. Looking back, he smiles to Liao Zongtian. How can the Thunder Gate care about that? I just want to talk about it. I want to make a living under the leader of Liao in the future. If you want to make a living, well, you can stay for a while, and I'll arrange the rest." Liao Zongtian's sharp eyes narrowed, and his displeasure soon covered up. "That's very kind. Thank you for your appreciation." Then Yunwu smiles and points to Jinyu, who has been black all the time. "His acting skills are amazing. Somebody take her down." Liao Zongtian stood up and took a look at Yunwu. "Today is a good day to have a rest. I'll talk about it tomorrow." "Yes, Master Liao, take your time." The cloud dances slightly to lean over. The eye bottom flows light to pass by, glancing at Liao Zongtian to walk standing upright. She only needs half a night. With Jinyu's strength, she can get rid of the fire whip for a long time, but she hasn't moved all the time. She just wants her to take the lead and sneak into the Thunder Gate. No, it should be said that you want to sneak into the cell of the Thunder Gate. However, Yumu feels a little sorry. When she points her dumb acupoint, she condenses a cluster of spiritual power in her body. As long as the power in her body swims away, the spiritual power will spread and fill her, making her miserable and unable to use her power. In case she broke away from the fire rope, it seems that she can't use it for the time being, but she also took advantage of her identity to live in the gate of Peihong. It's 2 by 2. It's even. She couldn't help but get excited when she thought of the pills in the gate. In this place where martial arts is the most important, elixir is just like eating at ordinary times. It's good to eat and get fat. So is elixir. All the pills in the gate must be top grade. She wants to take advantage of the night to clean up some pills. Jinyu says that once she achieves her goal, she will tell her identity. At that time, Liao Zongtian will come back to catch her, so her time is very urgent. So she must do things early and leave early. Cloud Dance looks at the night outside the house, and the corners of her mouth arc up. The night is cold, quiet, and charming, and the moonlight is clear. Under the moonlight, a delicate phantom passes by, galloping at the speed of ghosts, wandering in the gate of the Thunder Gate. Cloud Dance Wind Element Wrapped Body, less than half a column of incense time, will walk around the door of a probably. The gate is not too big, but every place is extremely strange. Except for a few servants, there are few bodyguards and others. Even if the smart mask is powerful, even if it's hard to be infiltrated here, it's not so high profile, right? Except for the 2 at the door, there's no guard inside. The Cloud Dance leans under a tree. The star eye is shining in the moonlight, and the bottom of the eye is wiping meditation. Suddenly, under the quiet night, a strange sound passed under her feet, and then she felt a rumble at her feet. Cloud Dance micro-frown, side back a few steps, squat on the ground, suspicious looking at the foot, eyebrow, tip a pick. Is there something fishy under the ground? She followed the trembling sound all the way, and the sound disappeared in the corner of the stone wall. Yunwu stood up and looked around at the stone wall. She didn't find anything unusual. Suddenly, she found a strange phenomenon. In the moonlight, the reflection of the stone wall where the sound disappeared was much higher than that in other places. All of a sudden, the corner of her mouth is slightly raised, and her eyes are fixed on a black stone. The black stone is as big as a fingernail. I don't care about it. I don't notice it at all. She took down the black stone. There was no movement in the stone wall. Then she put the stone in again and pressed it down hard. Boom! The sound of the stone wall moving to the left. Yunwu looked at the stone wall moving away, exposed the hole, lips slightly pursed, eyes swept a touch of joy. It seems that this is it. Suddenly, the purple phantom swept away and disappeared at the entrance of the cave. It's extremely dark inside the cave. With the light of fire element, Cloud Dance can vaguely see the situation around. After a while, the cave under the passage will come to the end. Cloud Dance by the weak light of the fire element. Sweep away. I light inside a touch of surprise. It's an underground house. She just stepped into the courtyard but found that the courtyard used array. Although she could see the situation inside, she had to break the array if she wanted to enter. After thinking for a moment, Although the array here can't defeat her, she still doesn't want to die too many brain cells, so she uses Chaos Hall to go in and out again, breaks the array, and goes in. As soon as you enter the courtyard, Cloud Dance has only one feeling: gloomy. Extremely gloomy. With the whistling and tearing sound of the cold wind, there is a kind of gloomy feeling like an old house. Suddenly, the cloud dances a zheng. The Mao light passes a silk-surprised cold wind. This is an underground house. Where does the wind come from? Oh, a silver cold light came. The cloud dance I ground suddenly surprised. Almost as the conditioned launch of the volley retreat, cold long sword with bone, piercing cold on, and her neck passed by. Who is it? Angry spread. A black figure just appeared. In the dark, he couldn't see the man's face clearly. Cloud Dance sneered and said, "The one who takes your life." In a moment, Gu Wu's broadsword came out with a strong and powerful force. It was smashed in the air in an instant. The night was torn open and condensed again in an instant. Bang! When the swords collided, there was a flash of lightning. The cloud dancing figure twisted in the air. The residual shadow remained. The sword threatened. A touch of scarlet. Blood stained the light of the black flame sword. The man dragged his fiery back, stepped back, looked directly at the cloud, and said with a little anger, "Who are you? The dead don't need answers." Cloud Dance Mao light a cold, straight hook of looking at that person. She can feel that there must be good things in this house. She always has the feeling that she can't explain the good things clearly, and this time is no exception. More importantly, there should not be many people guarding here, because the sound of swords touching each other is so loud that no one else appears up to now. She wondered if he would be the only one here. "Do you know where this is?" The man angrily rebukes, regarding the cloud dance's appearance, is still very surprised now. "How do you know? What if I don't know?" Cloud Dance a cold smile, the corner of the mouth yawn, disdain smile. "She just took something and left. Do you know what the difference is? I advise you to leave now. I can do nothing. Otherwise." As soon as the man's voice sank, he didn't go on, "Or you're welcome." Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrows. Although she was not familiar with everything in the gate, those pills were really tempting to her. So she wanted to break into the dragon's den and tiger's den. "It seems that you are looking for death." The man's low anger. The long sword instantly rolled from the mat, and the power of Wuzuan's early stage was whirling around. The palm of Cloud Dance unfolds, and a breath of vegetation strikes. In an instant, the man's strong fighting spirit is on the bar. In the next second, the water element instantly condenses into a sharp blade, and the wind element rolls more than a dozen sharp blades to the man. The speed is out of reach. Bang! The man's figure instantly retrogressed and tumbled to more than 10 meters away. Under the dark night, the man looked at the cloud dance. Obviously, he didn't expect that the cloud dance was composed of 3 elements in one go. The incomparable perfect cooperation made his anger more obvious. Smoke Cold glanced at a man, corner of the mouth indifference. From into the space released a small stink and Hongling. "Have fun. Wait for me to come back." Yunwu glanced at Xiaoqiu and Hongling and left. "Mama." "I see, master." The man looks at small stink and red Ling. Pupil is dilated. Eyeground is put on a bit unbelievable. "Contract beast? She's a summoner? Is it the seething summoner in the human world? Smelly thing, he's mine. Play with him." Little Stink gave a cold hum. "If you dare to understand my food, I will eat you. I'm going to burn him, barbecue him. I want it raw." The 2 little things began to fight again. The man watched them fight. A black line appeared on his forehead. The black line will appear forever after sweeping the tail. Yunwu has been storming all the way. She has searched 5 rooms. All the 5 rooms are filled with strange grass, and there is nothing she wants. Yunwu comes to the last room and frowns slightly. "The last one? Won't you let her down?" Bang! Extremely not gentle kick door sound rings out. After the dust falls, Yunwu walks into the room. After seeing the situation in the room, his eyes are suddenly cold. There is nothing in the room, nothing, not even a table or chair. The cloud dances all around, the chill suddenly falls, and the cool breath almost condenses the ethereal dust in the air. She did not give up to inspect the room for a week and really did not find anything. Her eyes were icy and cold. After half a night, she got this result. Bang! The purple fighting spirit in Yunwoo's hand swept out and hit the wall instantly. If you can't take something away, leave something behind, and you'll have a better psychological balance. At the same second, the walls began to creak as if they were moving. After a while, a wall suddenly came out. Inside, there were boxes one by one, just like the drawers of modern Chinese medicine. As soon as she got close, she felt a strong spiritual power. The closer she got, the clearer she felt. There was a voice in her heart calling. Here it is. Skimming to the wall box, she picked up a box and carefully looked around in her hands. As soon as she raised her mouth, the perfect radiance reappeared. Pong! With a clear sound, the box opened. Suddenly, a cold silver needle shot straight at the cloud. It was as fast as lightning and could not be caught. Yunwoo quickly retreated and threw out the box in his hand in the same second. With a clang sound, the box was thrown in the corner and broke to pieces. The clouds looked at the box, and the undercurrent was surging. They thought it was something good, but they almost destroyed the silver needle. Looking up at the silver needle on the roof, the cloud dances and the corner of the mouth is cold. It's really poisonous. The white roof was infected by the venom, and the silver needle was infected with black venom. Roof can be infected, not to mention the skin. If she didn't miss that shot, it's creepy to think about it with this experience. When Yunwoo opened the next box, she had a wooden sword in her hand and was very careful. At the moment of opening the box, Yunwoo's eyes were fixed in the box and didn't move. The fundus of his eyes was shining. It's a clear and dense bead. You can see that there is something swimming in it. Sure enough, it's a good thing. The cloud dances around the corner of the mouth and takes the bead back into the space. As for the function, we have to test it one by one. 1, 2, 3. Yunwoo opened all the boxes, swept away the 10 beads, saw that there was nothing good, swept away the shadow, and smeared oil on the soles of his feet. After returning to the outside, Xiao Smelly and Hong Ling have solved the problem, and Yunwoo is a little surprised. Against Wuzuan's initial strength, they have solved it so quickly. It's really shocking. But Hong Ling didn't eat that man. Yunwoo couldn't figure it out. Hong Ling, don't you eat such good meat? The cloud dances toward the red Ling to pick eyebrow. The doubt of eye round flits by. Hong Ling immediately shook her head, glanced at the man's body. Broken meat, I don't eat. Cloud dance eyes a deep, staring at the red Ling for a long time. The red Ling see the whole body gloomy, and small stink that millennial grinding human essence. Touch her eyes cold on. Seems also quiet a lot. Go back to space. Yunwoo takes back her eyes indifferently and takes them back to the space. Before leaving, she takes a deep look at the man's body, and her eyes are cold. Thinking that the corpse might be a little strange, she thought for a moment, and then she threw the man to the place not far from the 6th room. The purple phantom flashed and disappeared in the underground courtyard. When she returned to the gate again, she went into the array without knowing it. As the array moved, she saw a new scene instead of the gate. How many secret ways of array are there in this gate? Cloud Dance looks at the iron house more than 10 meters high in front of her eyes, and her eyes are cold. Under the moonlight, the iron house reflects the miserable white, and the whole feeling is gloomy. She glances around, and her eyes are stunned. For a moment, the iron house actually lives on the top of the cliff. His forehead was frowning, and the wind was cold and whistling in his ear from time to time. Cloud Dance eyebrow tip a pick, eyes streamer 100 turn. Isn't this the prison of the Thundergate? She had a good eye. Since it was a cliff, she had already left the gate of Peihong, so she didn't have to work hard to break the boundary. Although she had found the weakness of the boundary, It would be better if it didn't take any trouble. Since there is a route to escape at any time, how can we not visit this cell? Purple figure a shake, virtual shadow countless. That white figure has disappeared. A sneer is still hidden in the moonlight. Cold iron cell, hanging on the cliff. From time to time, a strong wind whistling out. All of a sudden, people's hair are erect. This cell lives on the top of the cliff. There are not many guards, but Yunwu finds several powerful people here. This cell should be guarded by several of them. The 3 people that Yunwu saw were all the top of Wuxing, so it's not necessary to say much about their strength. Or not. Suddenly, a voice colder than this cell came out. Cloud suddenly stopped, hiding in a corner, listening carefully. Kill me. And then there was another hoarse voice. Oh, that person disdains to smile? Can you be so cheap? For more than 20 years. What's the use of keeping that secret? Elder of the evil clan, the cloud dances to smell a speech tiny a lung. Half hang of the mouse sun inside flit, it is spread to ponder. Evil clan elder? The response to that man was a long silence. Well, I want to give you a chance to live, but you don't cherish it. If you don't tell me, I don't know where he is. That person raises a sky to smile. Smile is bloodthirsty, merciless, ice cold. You know. The pale voice trembled with surprise. But soon it converged again. Don't worry. I will reunite you with the little lord you are protecting as soon as possible. At the end of the speech, Yunwu saw a very strange figure swept out. It seemed that it disappeared out of thin air and could not touch any trace at all. The little master of the evil family? Did he say Cloud Dance is stunned, and the heart faintly feels that the matter seems to be more and more dangerous. Cloud Dance has been hiding in the corner for a long time. It is certain that the person left here and then appears. A purple figure passes by and moves towards the source of the sound. In a flash, another person appeared in the chilly cell. The old man felt the arrival of Cloud Dance, and his decadent eyes were filled with surprise. Then it returned to normal, still hanging on the ground. Cloud Dance looks at the person who is tied by the black iron and decadent on the ground in front of him, and his eyes are startled. Some of the black iron had infiltrated into his flesh and blood, and was connected with his flesh and blood. His lean body seemed to have no strength to bear, and he was hanging in the air in pain. Who is the young master of the evil clan? He just said. Cloud Dance's eyes rubbed cold voice, such as cold blades, swept out. The old man was silent for a long time before he said, Don't waste your efforts. I won't say it. Cloud Dance willow eyebrow a pick. No, he misunderstood in different way. I just mixed in, not their people. She said, obviously feel the old man's breathing stopped, a stiff back. After a long time, the old man slowly raised his head. At the moment of seeing the old man, Yunwu's breath stopped. I saw that the old man's face was wrinkled like a peak, leaving only a layer of skin wrapped in bones. At first glance, it was frightening. At a closer look, it was like a skeleton. Don't waste your time. The old man looked at the Cloud Dance with a cold hum and twisted his white eyebrows. It seemed that he just said a word, which was the pain of thousands of arrows penetrating the heart. In the end, Yunwu was called back by his voice. She gathered her eyes surprise and recovered her usual coldness. Do all the people of the evil clan have immortal bodies? The old man's eyes suddenly froze when he heard the speech. The next second, his eyes suddenly cold, anxious way, go. Cloud Dance micro frown. Dull a second later to feel a touch of unusual breath ushered in. Drooping eyes meditation for a second. Purple figure instantly swept out of the cell. I'll come back again. His deep voice was as deep as silk, just enough to be heard by the old man. And in the next second, a black figure suddenly appeared in the cell. The moment that the man fell into the shadow, his eyes were as evil as an eagle, block all the exits. Immediately, that person's vision, haze of straight stare at that prison old man. Who has been here? The man's deep voice passed with a faint anger. The old man lowered his body again and did not answer the man's words, but he was still thinking about Yunwu's words. Who is she? How do you know, however? I still hope she can get out of here, at least. Maybe meet again, poof. A touch of white haze, such as dragon-like power, instantly into the old man's back. The old man spattered blood on the ground, pale as a cocoon of lips, but with a smile. He was used to this kind of situation. But the next second, that person's figure has already chased the cloud to leave the position, but to go, extremely quickly disappeared. The cells are back to normal again. However, the cold, dark cell, because the man blocked all the exits, and instantly restless. The cloud dances to attack and die the elements of the wind, and the figure is like a fantasy. In a moment, it is swept out of the cell at the fastest speed. But those people behind her are not vegetarians. At the moment when she snatches out of the cell, a black figure blocks her way. The hurricane circled and gradually subsided. Yunwu looks at the man in front of him. His eyes are cold, and his whole body is generally black. It can be used not only to describe the crow, but also to describe him. Black robe, black hair, black eyes. Face is also dark black. The whole body is filled with strange dark breath. If we could not vaguely feel the purity of his power, we would not find him in this dark night. Cloud Dance can't help but squint eyes dark. It's amazing that such a dark and treacherous person has such pure power. Boom! The dark voice was cold. I said it was a friend. Do you believe it? The cloud dances. The corners of the mouth are not happy and sneer. The letter. In the same second, a dark dragon appeared in the night and suddenly attacked the powerful force and shook to the clouds. As soon as the cloud dancing figure was swept away, a strong burning sensation appeared. In a moment, the black dragon and the burning sensation disappeared at the same time. While it seems to have some ability, the voice of sarcasm, without a ripple, is extremely harsh. You're not bad. You have 2 powers. Although she said it carelessly, she was surprised. It's really rare for her to have such dark and pure power at the same time. Can you see that? There was a ripple in the cold voice. Cloud Dance eyebrows a pick. He means that others cannot see it? Looking at the man's dark and bloody eyes, she frowned slightly. It's a big trouble. It seems that you can only die here today. Tight lips slightly pick. Kill meaning rub ran diffuse cliff around. In a flash, the 2 figures attack and dye the edge, and sweep away the dazzling light in the dark, just like Dazzle. With more than 10 moves, Yunwu is more and more difficult to deal with. This man's strength is higher than him. Although he thought about calling those kids, he gave up the idea for their safety. Bang! The 2 forces are in direct conflict. The light suddenly erupts, tearing open the night and creating a strange landscape in midair. In a flash, Yunwu's figure was shocked to the edge of the cliff, but the man just stepped back. Yunwu's eyes are as dark as Guten's, and her breath is a little short. The impact on her just now is not small. Is this the power of the people in the upper world? The guard strength of the gatekeeper is at the level of Wuxing, and the skill of running errands is above Wuzuan? Oh, Cloud Dance lips with a sneer. Which world is to rely on strength to survive? Want to survive in the upper world, must become stronger. The man pursed his lips tightly. Step by step, he was like death, coming like clouds, passing a trace of pleasure in his strange eyes like a black hole. It was the pleasure when he was about to kill his prey. I'll jump if you take a step. Looking at the pleasure in the man's eyes, Yunwu frowned slightly and swore in his heart that he would come back to clean him up when his strength became stronger in the future. As everyone knows, later because of this idea, pulled out a big wave of trouble. I advise you to. Before I finish speaking, the purple figure on the edge of the cliff jumped down. That person puts down to still point the pace of the tiptoe. Looking at the figure that disappears under the cliff, the eye sun inside flits over a wipe of abnormality. Don't jump. The first feeling of Cloud Dance is the wind whistling in my ears, the clothes clanging, the cold and penetrating, and the darkness passing by. Swept by the elements of wind, waste plate with wood elements, palm burning fire elements for heating, Clouds all the way down this boundless cliff, but not to the end. A quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, suddenly in front of the bright light, suddenly appeared, stabbing her eyes in the moment she closed her eyes. Bang! A loud sound reverberated between the cliffs. Then I saw a purple figure like a ball, up and down, down, up. After a long time, it finally stopped. The soft touch under the body surprised Yinwu. She quickly got up and fell down again. Cloud danced, slightly frowns. The eye ground is dark. This feeling is definitely not the ground. What is that? She stood up again, but in the next second, her whole body was stiff, and her eyebrows and eyes were filled with surprise. That you're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.